Nerdly presents the feed where the reels unwind. Off the real podcast, digging deep in the grind. 80 flicks, low cash, big dreams in a frame. No blockbuster hype, just the realest in the game.
The definitive 365 cut. These are the meaningless ramblings of a Scottish redone whore and a pissy ex-video store clerk.
But right, so yeah, folks, tuning in, listening in to the podcast. This is 365 Flicks off the reel. That sounds really awesome to say again. 365 Flicks podcast, and I will explain the off the reel thing in a minute, but I am absolutely back in the booth with the greatest man to ever do this with me, to ever lay down in a bed beside me in Cincinnati. You know it happened. You remember that shit.
I'm not denying
Chris,
that happened.
How awesome. We've been talking about this for a few months now,
This is
years
cool.
now.
And I'm gonna have to just do a quick thing. I am the Scottish weeding whore, Chris.
You are.
What the hell was your one again? I can't remember.
Pissy X video.
That's the one.
I was the Pissy X video store clerk. Yeah. Not so pissy anymore, though.
No, no, you look very happy. You've been a busy guy.
Older, grump. We will very much talk about that stuff in a quick hot second. But yeah, 365 Flicks podcast is we are coming back. We may not be doing this every 2 minutes like we used to. You know, every other day we were dropping episodes for a little while there. But we are definitely have every intention of coming back, which will be to the joy, the happiness, the screams of Aaron Goodmiller, our one and only fan, and the Hobie boys will be happy.
Well, I hope so.
They
sure
probably won't. They'll just be like, fuck them.
I pitch in
I
a
can see
cheeky
that.
top 5 to them every now and then, you know.
Yeah, I always see their posts, and I intend to give them like a top 5, and then I think, nah, fuck them. They're like 400 episodes deep. They don't need my
I mean,
goods.
they're mostly shite. The top 5s are mostly shite. Let's be fair. But
Yeah. I think that's what we should
5
do.
years
you know,
and shots fired, Hobie. Fuck you.
As a big comeback, as a big, like, you know, coming back into the fold, we should just start beef with them.
I think so. Yeah.
And and also Jock and Nerd. Anybody else from that era, we will just, because I forget them all because they didn't matter to us anyway. And I'll just jump on
Jock and Nerd
Twitter and be like, guys, listen to the new episode that 365 just put out. What they did, they were our doppelcasters, as they used to call us.
They were.
I actually went back in preparation to doing this with you. I was typing in 365 Flicks podcast to like look at some of the stuff we did back then, and it was some fucking cool stuff, man. Some really cool stuff.
Of course there was.
And
We interviewed Kate Dickey.
We did interview Kate Dickey, which I was
Yeah.
actually talking to somebody about a little while ago, because they were like, "Oh, I met Kate Dickey the other day." I was like, "Yeah, I've been there, done that." And if I'm not mistaken, Kate Dickey was the first ever 365 Flicks interview. Like,
He was our first, because we were both complete newbies and nervous as hell, and we hadn't had a beer yet. And we said to the stage floor manager or whatever you call them, I forget. We've got press passes. We don't really know what we're meant to do.
Let's pull back the curtain on that one.
He kind of went, come with me, and he took our hands. That's how I remember it, and he led us through. And it was just like, Kate Dickey. It was cool.
He says, "Kate, we've got a couple of virgins here," and Kate was like,
and then she got her tits out, and then she said, I'll breastfeed them.
I'll breastfeed them. Oh, that's a deep cut. That is a deep cut.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah, man. That was awesome, and I also remember that day gave us actually still remains one of my favorite 365 Flicks moments, and that was you trying to keep your cool interviewing David Prowse, being told that Star Wars was the worst gig he'd ever had.
Gosh, this was a day.
I just remember talking.
You were gone. You were gone. You'd fucking vanished somewhere, and
I was talking to the boy, wasn't I? So the boy's going. He's like, so when you're done with this one, you go on and you'll talk to Tom Burke next. Such and such and such and such, and as this is how it's going to go. And then I turn around and I just see you like an absolute deer in headlights, and I'm thinking, oh shit, what's just happened?
David Prowse tried to touch me. That's what you were expecting.
You wish.
I do wish.
You may have been one of the last, but that's not for here.
You know.
So, yeah, folks, we have just preamble there, but this is 365 Flicks. We are back after 5 years of what I like to call the long COVID, and you're going to love this part, Chris. I know you did love this part. I shouldn't really joke about this shit, but yeah, who says mass infected death has to be depressing?
Indeed.
Every level. So yeah, we're gonna do what we used to do. We have some sections that we always used to just crack on and just see what there'll be tangents abound. We're gonna talk about some news in a little bit, some stuff that I've kind of picked up and picked out, and obviously, Chris, anything that you want to throw in, we'll just talk about it and see where the fuck that goes. We're gonna have a what do you want to talk about section, as Mr. Cody Rhodes would say. Where I believe you've got some venting you want to do, and I thought I'd take the chance to do some.
I've
venting
got all sorts of venting I want to do. Yeah.
And of course, that was everyone's favorite thing about our show. So,
damn right.
Nobody ever really tuned in for me. They just tuned in for the haggis eating Scotchy to just sit and vent and just talk shit about things. So, as they say, you were always the talent. So,
again, I'm not arguing.
So we'll be doing that, and then we'll do a top 5 best and worst movies over the last 5 years, because it has been 5 years since we sat down and recorded an episode. This top 5, while it seemed very, very easy to start with, I thought there can't be that many good films I've watched in the last 5 years. It really wasn't. Yeah, it was a monster. It was a beast.
It was. But I've got top 5 good and top 5 bad. I hope you did the same.
Yeah, I've got I got like 30 odd good, so I'll pick and choose my 5 from that list. Might be some honorable mentions.
You've not got more good than bad, surely.
I've got way more good than bad, mate.
Wow.
Something that I've learned over the last 5 years is like, how we used to watch like just about everything and just consume stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now I just kind of watch the stuff that I know I'm going to enjoy.
That's acceptable.
Although I do watch some shite.
Yeah. The stuff on my bad list is mostly things that I've put off because they've been crap.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll be ending on, is the best and worst movies over the last 5 years. I did think that it was about a decade since we last spoke, but it hasn't been. So anyway, Chris, it's been 5 years. What's been up? Let's start with you. What you been up to? What have I been up to? Going on? Fill everyone in the world of Chris.
I've been all over the shop, really. So I moved over to Paisley for work, and
that's
I was there
for
for
the podcast, really.
Well, no, I was there before then, but that was well after COVID. Well, no, before then. So I back in. Well, it was, I think, the last time we recorded, I had just been offered a promotion, or I'd just gotten a promotion to, I was deputy practice manager, or deputy to the practice manager. So I wasn't actually allowed to talk about it on our last episode. So I got a promotion to deputy to the practice manager, and I did that for I don't know however many years, and then I decided that I'd had enough of that, and I wanted to kind of go for the level up. So I went for a practice manager job at another vet practice. It was over in Paisley and Greenock, and I got that, and I moved away. That was 2023. I did that.
It was.
That was an experience. Living over on the West Coast is rainy. Very, 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 very rainy. So I was obviously away from you, away from other people, away from my family, so I didn't really
I noticed.
enjoy
I
it
noticed.
all that much. And then there was a few things at the place. The team were fantastic. The people who were supposed to be running the practice with me were shit, to put it very, very lightly. So there was a lot of disagreements, a lot of button heads, and they didn't have the same ideas as I did of how the place should run. So I decided I'd had enough. I wasn't in a very good place. I told you at the time I wasn't in a very good place at that point in my life. I was pretty well, completely, totally burned out. And then, I decided, nah, I've had enough of this. I'm going back to the East Coast where I belong. So I started looking for jobs across here. So I'm now the practice manager of a GP surgery, which is awesome.
Bosh.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Good,
got a new
good
dog.
man. And
her name is Ripley.
Is that based off the Galaxy Ripples? Is that based off Galaxy Ripples?
What do you think? Of course it is.
That's what life is all about, is finding your way, and now you have found your way.
I have, definitely. And now we're back on here, and it's awesome. And I've been looking forward to it.
And one of the things that, because we did talk, we did definitely talk, because I had a lot of people when we kind of stopped doing the podcast kind of thing, and it sort of fizzled out a little bit, and then it just kind of it was gone. And I got a lot of people, like people that used to listen to us and things like that. So what happened to you and Chris? And I'm like, nothing happened to me and Chris. Just life happened to me and Chris. Just like fucking COVID happened.
Really, yeah.
Shit.
It was all
recording,
bloody COVID.
like it kind of was a little bit, but even though like we tried to do the online chats with like Skype and with Zoom and everything, like everyone else did, it just didn't really feel right to us at the time, because we'd done like the last 5-6 years of like being together in the room.
It was a long time,
yeah. To not be in the room with you at that point. Yeah, like we had the studio that I had built here. You turned your spare room, which used to be your office, into a studio, and it was like, do we really want to go back to like talking over Skype and Zoom? And it just didn't feel the same, which is kind of strange because we're doing it now. However, needs must in the current climate.
What
That's
about you?
us filled in. Let's move. Yeah, like I kept going, start being like just myself. Like I really didn't enjoy it to start out with, and then I kind of found my feet a little bit and started. Obviously, we were part of the whole Nerdly thing. The 365Flicks was on Nerdly. It was getting posted on Nerdly all the time. And after a while, Phil was kind of like, do you fancy coming on board, kind of doing it more often for Nerdly? So like the podcast kind of became a Nerdly podcast. It's kind of changed quite a few times because, you know me, I've got like ADHD. So carried on interviews, carried on reviews, joined the Romford Film Festival. That was mental. They were like, they needed people to just watch like 400 films, 500 films. And I was like, yeah, I'm not working right now, so I could do that. And it just went from there. And now it's a whole thing. And now it's just stupidly crazy, mental.
That's cool as hell, man. It's cool as hell. That's right up your street.
It would have been much better, I will say, having my boy by my side. I will say that. It was really fucking weird doing those first few interviews by myself and just sitting and you're like, because remember we used to like do the interviews, like we had our questions laid out, and then we would just like, you know, chop and change between the two of us, like asking the questions and then all that, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, he's asking for me to wait he's waiting for me to ask another question. Oh shit, I need to ask another question. Oh shit, what am I supposed to do? So I feel like I've hit my stride now. It's taken a few years, but I feel like I've hit my stride now. But yeah, it was weird. It was weird.
I bet.
You were getting called all sorts of names.
Oh hell.
Yeah. I was just like, this guy obviously did all the heavy lifting because but no, like I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love doing what I do, and it's good fun. It's good fun. But it feels really like, even just sitting here right now after like 20 minutes, it's like Yeah, man, this is sweet. this is what we should be doing. So hey, yeah, so that's us caught up. And one other thing, like it used to be cool to get our quotes on a box. You got a couple as well. Remember, you got 24 little hours. You got your famous "I didn't look at my phone once" quote on the box.
Yeah, really? Is that called the box?
Remember,
I can't remember that.
Paul Knight's movie?
Yeah. Did that go on the box?
Yeah, man. 2 seconds.
I can't remember that. I cannot remember that.
24 hours in London. So on the front, Guy Ritchie style with some great one-liners. That was that one. Remember Chris Johnson?
I do.
Love Chris Johnson.
I've still got that
Neil
movie
Ward.
on Amazon Prime.
I didn't look at my phone once. 365 Flicks.
That's amazing. Maybe I did, and I just couldn't
Did you
remember.
not?
I forgot about
Oh
it.
man, that's like one of the best quotes ever.
That's so cool.
I said to him at the time, I was like, honestly, like, because we did like a full podcast about that film. We did like a full review of that film.
Yeah.
And I was like, of the entire like 1 hour of review that we did for that film, that's the quote you went with.
That's
so
amazing.
Cool though. I loved it.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Right. So yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, where I was going with that was we always like to see our quotes go on boxes. You know, I've had a few over the years. I've had quite a few now because I'm a professional, I guess. Dude, I actually pitched in and helped make a movie.
You told me about this.
Co-executive producer.
Yeah. Wow. Now you've been
I mean,
a producer before, though.
I wouldn't necessarily recommend you run out on your film. Yes,
that's right. Yeah,
I certainly have.
Sorry,
I mean, that one I got more joy from. I got way more joy from that film because I got to like feed people with like Snickers and Kit Kats and stuff like that.
That's kind of all you did.
Ask other people to make the coffee.
You kept me from flapping because I was a complete diva on the set.
Yeah,
if you remember.
So Phil and I from Nerdly, we pitched in and we were co-executive producers on a horror movie, a gothic horror movie,
nice.
Which came out like last year, I believe. Tell you what, man, like see it on you with your film, seeing it on the screen at the Maltons and seeing like my name on it, that was cool. That was really fucking cool. But let's be honest, seeing my name on the credits of like an actual proper fucking big film, I was like, damn, that was next level. That was next level.
I can believe that. Yeah, that's pretty badass.
I do feel like we should have a double bill. Like we should show yours and then that one, or that one and then yours. It just depends. So anyway, yeah. So that's been the last 5 years in a nutshell. It has been a bit mental. I mean, there's fucking hundreds of videos all over the place on the YouTubes for what I've been doing, and check out all that if you want to. If you don't, then that's fine. I really don't mind. Let's jump into some Newsy news because we always enjoy doing the Newsy news, and there has been a lot of Newsy news.
We're not doing that over 5 years, though, right?
I want to start. So the first thing that I wanted to throw out there is: have you watched the Naked Gun reboot trailer with Liam Neeson?
Unfortunately, I have. Yes.
How bad does it look?
Extremely, extremely, extremely bad. Although
yeah.
I will give it one thing.
I mean,
the bit at the end of the trailer where Liam Neeson is like praying to Frank Drebin, and it goes down the line, and you've got OJ's son.
Yeah.
The guy looks at the camera. That I will give it. That got an actual like laugh from me, but fuck the rest of it.
Yeah, I'm very much the same. Have you seen the full trailer as well? Because there was obviously the little teaser trailer, and now we've got the full trailer with some Pamela Anderson scenes.
I think so. I was at the cinema this week, Tuesday, I think it was, and the trailer for it was in that, or before the movie started.
Yeah.
So I can't really remember if she was in it. I think so.
Because she literally got the only laugh of the trailer from me, and that is when although the OJ scene is brilliant, like that. Fuck yeah, if they're willing to do that and put it in the trailer, then I'm all for it. But yeah, there's like a scene where Liam Neeson's standing there in the interrogation room, and Pamela Anderson walks in, and he goes, "Take a seat," and then it just cuts to her walking away with the chair. That's just airplane all over. That's
Yeah,
old school Naked Gun. I'm all about that.
I've not seen that. That wasn't in that trailer that I saw the other day.
All about that.
I'm not
But,
sure
I mean,
if I'm going to have a look.
And will you? So are you interested in watching the film, or are you just writing it off?
I'll watch it when it comes to Sky. I'm not gonna go to the cinema or anything like that to see it.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I've got to say, I'm not optimistic. I was never a massive Seth MacFarlane fan, anyway, to be honest. And his live action stuff, like Ted. Oh yeah. It's like I'm sure it's I don't know if he's directed it, but he's definitely written it. But it's
okay. I didn't know that.
I know, right? I know. He's just fallen from grace. Know that.
Well, I haven't watched Family Guy in years. I'm the same as you with when it comes to the live action stuff. The Million Ways to Die in the West was dog shit. The first Ted was funny. The second Ted, I don't remember a second of it.
I'm not looking forward to that one at all. But let's talk about another trailer that came out that everybody seems to be really, really going hard on, and everybody seems to be really happy with. I feel like we may differ on this movie trailer. The Superman trailer. How excited are you for this James Gunn Superman?
I am extremely excited. I'm really looking forward to it. Are you not?
I'm really not. Let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. I'm a Zack Snyder whore. I always have been a Zack Snyder whore. I loved Man of Steel, and I loved Zack Snyder's DCEU, whatever he was doing with it, even though we never really got to see it come to fruition as such. We only got the bare bones of it. This, to me, just looks like, I don't know, Superman's in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Maybe. I think I'm looking forward to it. I was pretty much looking forward to it. Well, let's be honest, it was because of the dog.
Yeah, the dog that is supposedly comic book accurately.
He's going to give you comic book accurate. Whether it's good or bad, you're going to get comic book accurate.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest.
Really surprised.
Like I said,
I thought you would be completely up for that.
I'll watch it. I know you and I were talking about going to the cinema. We should definitely do that. We because we haven't been to the cinema together for a long time, so let's do that. What is it about it that has got you excited? Apart from the dog.
Apart from the dog, that's a really difficult question because there really isn't much. No, I think the guy they've got playing him, I think he looks the part. Yes, I would rather have had a Henry Cavill return, of course, but that was, let's face it, that was never going to happen. That was a complete shit show from start to finish. They screwed him over multiple times. So I was actually glad when all that came to an end and they just handed it over to James Gunn and said, right, off you go. The guy that they've got playing him, I think looks class. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. I think he's got potential. You got Nathan Fillion in there.
But come on, like that Guy Gardner look.
Comic book accurate from an issue in like 1969.
Oh no! I was really, really pleased to see Nathan Fillion popping up, and that bowl cut. Fuck me, that threw me for six.
Yeah.
What do you think of our new Lois Lane?
Who the hell is it?
She's called Rachel Brosnahan. I don't really think I've seen her in anything of any real merit, to be honest.
I'm sure she'll be fine. I don't really know her. The actress, not Lois Lane. But it'll be interesting to see what she does with it.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I'll watch it. And James Gunn, he does have a good track record. He has a reasonably good track record, to be perfectly honest. I thought Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was total ass. I did not enjoy that movie whatsoever.
I'll agree with you there.
The Suicide Squad reboot, that as much as again, I loved the David Ayer version. I know it got a lot of stick and a lot of people hated it. I didn't think Jared Leto Joker was all that bad as much as people say. But I think the James Gunn version of Suicide Squad was literally like a 2-hour extended version of the Deadpool joke from the trailer, the Deadpool 2 joke. Like, we're going to get the team together and then kill them all.
Yeah, I would
So
agree
yeah,
with
we'll
that.
see.
I would
We'll
agree
see.
with
We'll
that.
see.
Peacemaker's good. Peacemaker was good with John Cena.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's good. I enjoyed it. I can't be wrong. I didn't like the David Ayer of Suicide Squad, but I will agree that although I don't like him, Jared Leto is not the worst thing about that movie. When you've got fucking not Dark Willow doing stupid bloody hand movements like a fucking thing from a car lot, and that's your big bad. That's what's wrong with that movie, not anything else. Well, maybe other things.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have converted one person back to the dark side. We have a Suicide Squad apologist. So you had a trailer that you wanted to bring up, and I have seen this trailer. It was the new movie with The Rock. Tell us a little bit about this one.
Well, yeah, I saw this on Tuesday, and so it's about early days of UFC. I cannot remember who The Rock is playing, but it's an A24 movie, and it looks like The Rock is actually doing a serious role, a bit of dramatic shouting, if you will. I'm really interested in it. I want to see what The Rock can actually do. He's been on a bit of a downward spiral, from your highs of give me a minute.
Your highs of I mean, you were gonna say Black Adam there, weren't you?
I certainly was not going to say Black Adam. of walking tall. He's kind of he got a bit high on his own. Oh, the mummy returns. There you go. The highs of the mummy returns.
Ladies and gentlemen, Walking Tall, 2004's Walking Tall.
Well, that was a good movie. It was a good movie. But let's face it, he's not done anything.
It was a good movie.
Good in quite a long time. I know you enjoyed the Fast and whatever the fuck, but I do not. And
yeah, I do enjoy those movies, but to be honest, I'm not watching it for the acting, really. I'm just watching it for the mental cockamamie shenanigans.
What? You're not wanting Vin Diesel to do some Daniel Day-Lewis on your screen, and when there's a bus being flipped by a fucking sports car? Stupid shit.
Well, on that, on the Daniel Day-Lewis thing, that's my feeling when I watched this trailer for The Smashing Machine. It really feels like The Rock wants to win an Oscar or wants to win an award for Best Actor with this movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sense I got. I definitely want to watch it. I definitely want to see it. It looks interesting. But I was just, the whole time I watched the trailer, I was like, somebody's trying really hard.
Yeah. He is trying. Yeah. Has Emily Blunt in it, I think, as well?
Yeah, she plays the wife. Yeah.
I mean, she stole my Hobie Award one time, so she can fuck off.
But it does look good.
So, yeah, I'm interested in it. I want to see what he can do.
But A24's been doing some pretty good stuff recently as well. A24's been kind of on a bit of a tear. Things like Death of a Unicorn, Bring Her Back, or Talk to Me, which was the YouTube guys' horror film that they did. And then they've done a whole load of other stuff that
the one with the hand, like the haunted hand or something. I actually watched an A24 movie last night, Warfare.
Oh yeah. You'll
good.
never watch that twice, by the way.
No. It was good, but I won't watch it again.
Yeah, it's absolutely, like, I loved watching it, and we are both big Will Poulter fans. I mean, back in the day, we had Will Poulter cast as Spider-Man at one point, and we had, who did we have? We had Poulter. We did actually say Tom Holland in our casting, and we had Asa Butterfield. They were our Spider-Man.
Yeah. My call was for Tom Holland because of The Impossible.
It was a good call.
I
Will
know.
Poulter would be in a fucking weird Spider-Man, right?
I don't know how that would have worked out. I'm sure he would have done a good job because he can act like a son of a bitch.
So, what did you think of Warfare? What did you enjoy about it? I thought it was a brilliant film. I really enjoyed it.
It was very well shot. It felt I loved that there was only really other than when they were out on the street, they were closed in. It felt very claustrophobic. You felt like there was actual jeopardy to the characters, which a lot of the time you don't actually get anymore. Looking at you, Marvel, but it was very well shot, very well acted by the entire cast. Yeah, I think maybe it could have maybe a little bit more, start, middle, and end kind of thing. It kind of felt maybe, I don't know, I don't know how to word it. The structure maybe felt a little bit rushed. You're talking about a real life situation.
It's a little bit all over the place.
Yeah, it's based on a true story, so you don't necessarily have someone finding out about themselves. Learning a new trick for the end of the movie kind of thing.
So also, you've put down that you want to talk about Mindhunter. Now, this is a TV series. I've only ever seen maybe the first 2 episodes of season 1.
Yeah,
did enjoy it. Why is this a good thing? Why is this a good thing that we're getting some movies out of it?
Well, you should watch the show properly from start to finish. It's fantastic. It is one of the best shows that's ever been made, in my opinion. Certainly one of the best things that Netflix ever done. They weren't able to get season 3 off the ground because I don't know. I don't know why. I can't remember why. Something to do with David Fincher couldn't get the funding or something like that. It was all contracty nonsense and stuff. But they were never able to get season 3 off the ground. So this has been in limbo for years at this point. It's kind of like Deadwood. Remember how Deadwood ended, where it was like, "Oh, where's my season 4 of Deadwood?"
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. So if you're not aware of the premise of the show, so it's set back in I believe it's the 60s, and there's the FBI's new behavioral sciences unit, and so they are talking to serial killers, and what have you, about why they did it, how they did it, that kind of thing, trying to get a background or like a database together of how serial killers' minds work so that they can catch serial killers in the future. In season 2, you've actually got you've actually got the BTK killer story going on in the background.
Okay.
It was a famous serial killer who was really fucked up. So, he kind of snuck into your house and planted stuff around your house for when he broke in to kill you and torture you. So bound, torture, kill. That's what BTK stands for. Bind, torture, kill. Yeah.
Nice.
But so that's going on in the background of season 2, and it's so well written, well acted, I'm really excited. And it's supposed to be 3 2-hour movies that Netflix is going to be doing. So I'm very excited.
I have seen a lot of people talk about that show, and like I say, when it first came out, like the first series way back, I did watch like the first 2 episodes. I just never stuck with it. But I do love Holt. Is it Holt McCallany? He's like one of the main guys, isn't he? And he's a fucking brilliant actor.
I'm terrible with names. Is he the one? Hold on. Yes. Yes, he is very good. He's one of the 2 main characters. And Jonathan Groff.
He's a great actor. Cool. Now, Spaceballs 2. Are we excited?
No.
This is one of those like things. When this they dropped a teaser trailer, a very small teaser trailer, and it's basically Mel Brooks basically saying that there's going to be a Spaceballs 2 in like 2027. Moranis is coming back. Bill Pullman's coming back, and it's one of those things that like I quite liked Spaceballs back in the day, but it was like very much a product of its time in its day, and I just don't see a space for Spaceballs now.
To be completely honest, I only ever watched that movie once. It felt like it was making fun of Star Wars, which I was not happy about. But yeah, I'm excited for Rick Moranis coming out of retirement. I actually, to be completely honest with you, this is just between us. Don't tell anyone. I actually thought Mel Brooks was dead. I genuinely thought he was dead.
So, somebody literally told me that Mel Brooks was in the trailer, and I was like, not Mel Brooks. I was like, not that Mel Brooks. That Mel Brooks is dead. It's like the one legend that 2017 and COVID couldn't take from us.
Mel Brooks. Yeah. You're right.
Remember that? Yeah, remember. Was it like 2017 or 2019? 2017 when like everybody was just dying on us. That was a hard year.
That's right.
Like, we lost like David Bowie. We lost like Alan Rickman. Big news for you this year. Jaws is 50.
Jaws is 50. Yeah, it's being re-released.
So did you watch it for the big anniversary?
I've watched it like thrice a year anyway. It's being re-released in September, I believe, in the cinema. So I've never actually seen it in the cinema, so I would quite like to go and see it.
Have you ever seen those experiences where they have the big screen on the lake kind of thing, and you like sit in a boat and watch it?
I would like to do that.
So more good news for this year. Gary Oldman has finally been knighted. He finally is Sir.
Yeah. Didn't know that either. I mean,
that was cool, right? What you thought?
It's cool. No, I didn't think he was dead. I think he was dead. I mean, he won his Oscar. You know, better than knighthood, if anything. Yeah, it's that's better than an Oscar, knighthood winning an Oscar.
It is kind of one of those things, though. Like, what does a knighthood really mean? You know what I mean?
I guess King Charles tries to not chop your head off when you're on your knees in front of him.
So we've got some more good news. Highlander, the long, ill-fated movie that is in production hell for the last 20-odd years. Highlander, the reboot is coming. We've got Henry Cavill in the lead. Russell Crowe is playing the Sean Connery character, and it's to be directed by Chad Stahelski of John Wick. What do we think about a Highlander reboot? You're not a Highlander fan anyway, are you? Really?
I'm not a fan. I think it's overrated. I like sword fights. I like some sword fightiness. Don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do with it. I think they're going to go over the top, though.
Oh, definitely. We're going to have like Henry Cavill and Russell Crowe running about doing gun fu like John Wick.
You think Russell Crowe's going to put up with being called a Spanish peacock, though?
Absolutely. He's going to love that shit.
No, he's going to punch the shit out of someone.
Let's be honest, he's going to be rubbing shit up the walls anyway.
Okay. Literally rubbing shit up the walls.
I'm actually really looking forward to it. I know for a while Jason Momoa was going to be doing it, and I quite like the idea of Jason Momoa doing a Highlander film. But let's be honest, it would have just been Aquaman, but with a Scottish accent. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do, and it's Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
We like Henry Cavill, right?
Of course, I like Henry Cavill. What's it do? I'm interested to see what they do with it. I think they're going to go over the top with it. But I've not really got any, skin in the game with this because I wasn't really. Highlander was never one that was like, like Jaws. If someone suggested you're going to remake Jaws or Back to the Future, absolutely not that I'm outraged. Fuck off. But Highlander, nah, just remake it. It's fine.
Oh, don't just say just remake it. It's fine. Jesus.
Why?
Put some respect on its name.
Who's going to do the better Scottish accent? Henry Cavill or
that original movie's awesome. Leave it alone.
Okay.
No. We've never really spoken about this much at one of the big film festivals that they're going to be remaking like 100 or so kung fu movies, Jackie Chan movies, Jet Li movies, Sammo Hung movies. They're going to remake them via AI.
Okay.
What do we think of AI in the movie kind of sphere?
It's not there yet. Not there yet. I use it all the time for work. It's very handy for that kind of thing. But
I'm with you.
For writing movies and what have you, it's not there. You need someone who, they're writing, putting their hat onto the paper or keyboard or whatever. You need someone who's passionate about what they're writing and they believe in what they're writing, and that AI is not going to do that.
So basically, what they're saying is they don't know. We don't know yet in the entirety of how it's going to be done, but they're going to be taking all their movies, and one of the main ones is John Woo's A Better Tomorrow, which is a fucking fantastic movie. It's an excellent movie from back in the day, and they're going to be sort of like recreating / reproducing via AI. So it's going to be doing like all the effects. It's going to be doing all the characters. Like it's still going to be the same story, the same film. But it's almost, from what they're saying, and this is what really fucking scares me about it, is going to be more of like a cyberpunk version of A Better Tomorrow using AI. And like, I struggle with this conversation. I really struggle with the whole AI thing because I do think, on one hand, you have to like adapt, you have to assimilate it, you have to work with it rather than fighting it and saying, "Oh, it's the fucking devil." Like, I guess. I don't know. Like, I'm freaked out about it. What do you think about people making movies using AI? Like, not just like it's not there yet, but like, what's your personal opinion?
But you using it to do what? Are they using it to write the script for them? Are they using it to, like, you can use AI to create a scene, create a like a clip or an image? What are they actually using it for? Now, the concept of AI, I think, is interesting. I think it will come to a point where that kind of thing is in play. There was actually just did you watch the new season of Black Mirror on Netflix?
No, I've not watched the new season. No.
So there is actually an episode where they have a movie, like a black and white movie from like the 20s or something like that, and they put an actress from current time into the old movie and like redo the old movie with this new actress in it. And that's the concept of the Black Mirror episode, is the actress is playing the guy, the main lead in the movie. And it's, that's what Black Mirror is. It takes takes a concept and kind of plays it out with it. So yeah, that's quite interesting actually, because it's kind of a similar sort of idea, a little bit.
And have you seen any of what good friend of ours and one of our favorite guests ever on our show, and we spoke to a lot in the past, Tom Payton? Have you seen what this man has been doing with AI recently? Because Tom's going balls deep into AI.
Now, you've told me a little bit about this, but I'm not up to speed with it at all. So fill me in.
Okay, so it started with Tom just trying to figure out what AI was, figure out what could be done with it and how he could adapt it to the model of movie making. Because he's always trying to like do things a little bit differently. He's always trying to kind of break that mold, and the studio system doesn't really work at any level. It doesn't really work for especially for independent people coming through. So he was taking scripts that he'd written in the past to start with, and he was making like AI audio dramas. So it was a script that he had written. He would then use like AI software, like 11 Labs and stuff like that, to get all the cast and characters to do the voices. So I say cast, but it is just AI voices. And then they would do the sound. Max, this musician that he's worked with over the years, They would do all the sound together, and they were putting out like really, really high quality audio dramas that was like 100% AI, like high quality stuff, really, really fucking good. But then, like for Tom, that's not enough. Like, how do we propel that? How do we? So now they've basically opened up a studio called Pigeon Shrine, and through Pigeon Shrine, they've been doing AI-mation. And now this is where the lines for me get a little bit blurred. And while I am very, very impressed with what he's doing, I'm also like, we're getting into some fucking scary territory. Now, let's be honest, the stuff he's doing, it's not exactly live action as such, and it doesn't really look live action. They do mostly play in the animation sphere. So, you know, they made the movie, the first movie that they made, it was a feature-length movie. Remember that movie that Pixar brought out called The Wild Robot? Was it Pixar or Disney? Like a couple of years ago, they brought out a movie called Wild Robot, which so like behind the scenes, you're talking about like 500 people working over 4 years to make this feature-length animated movie, The Wild Robot. So Tom and his team, they made a movie called Where the Robots Grow, written by Tom. And then the team come together, they get all the characters, they use all the AI to create their characters. There's a little bit of blending with other software as well, stuff that I like. It's way above my pay grade. I have no fucking idea how he does it. You know, they're all mad geniuses over there. But it took 9 of them, like 6 or 7 months, to make this feature-length animated movie that I wouldn't say is on par with The Wild Robot, but I'm like, you put a kid in front of it, they're gonna watch it. They're going to enjoy it. It's a kid's movie. So, you know, and then they put it out on YouTube for free.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right.
So
okay.
So that's kind of what they're doing. I find it really interesting. I also find that when you talk to industry people, or when you talk to filmmakers, especially independent filmmakers and whatnot, they would fucking rather slap you in the face than take a look at the project. I get that. Artists are artists. They're there to create. They think that this has nothing to do with creativity. This is just putting ones and zeros into a machine. I get all of that. But I can also very much see a space for what Tom's doing. And I find it very interesting, but also very scary.
Now, I would completely disagree with what, you know, that with that opinion of there being no passion behind it or anything like that. I would completely disagree with that. I think there's still some, you know, there's still involvement from people. You know, you're like when you're creating a scene or an image or what have you. You know, I've actually played about with this. I've got a really cool idea that I'm doing at the minute. Where, my nephew Rory, he's 5 coming up for 6 at the moment, and he's getting into Marvel and you know, superheroes and all that type of thing. So I had an idea of creating a comic book, you know, for his birthday or his Christmas or what have you. Now I can't draw for shit, so I started playing about with ChatGPT and creating images and what have you, you know, of him flying with a cape and that type of thing. And it's really cool. It's really, really cool. You know, but you still have that input of, you know, you're sort of typing away on your phone, like, oh no, that's not right, change this to this and all that type of thing. So there is still human input from there. It's not like Star Trek, it's not the bloody holodeck. You are, you know, there is still that input there. And for someone to say that there's no passion behind it, I think is completely wrong. Especially when you're talking about Tom Payton, because he loves the shit out of the industry. So anybody who turns around and says that Tom Payton hasn't got passion about one of his projects can get on the kiddie bus, because that's bollocks. Exactly.
It's and they're doing this thing right now. They've produced an app, so you can. I don't know if it's like fully out there. You can go and get it, and you can get on it and do things. But obviously, because we've known him for a good few years, and he knows that, you know, I'll look at things with an open mind. You know, like I look at a lot of some of these independent films that we've watched over the years that we've reviewed. A lot of your critics or a lot of your reviewers wouldn't really give it the time of day. You know, like it's low budget. It's not got any names in it. Like, why should we watch it? We've always been fair in that sense. We've always watched films that maybe not everybody would get a chance to see, and that is the fucking shame of the whole thing, because these people are making fucking amazing movies. So he was kind of like, you've always had an open mind on my projects. You've always had an open mind on this whole kind of industry thing. Do you want to have a look at this app? So he sent me a link so that I could go in and have a look at the app. And honestly, man, some of the stuff that's in there, I'm sitting there like, how the hell have you, like, you've basically taught yourself, this group of like 8 or 9 people have taught themselves how to use the cutting edge of like AI technology, like this amazing stuff that's out there that you can use, but they've learned how to like use different bits and pieces to work together and create this fucking, it's kind of magic, you know. It is what it is. It's not filmmaking. I don't regard it as filmmaking, but they're making stuff and it's really fucking awesome. So yeah,
You know,
I guess we've just never had that AI conversation.
Yeah, no, well, you're right enough. Because it has just come and hit its stride in probably the last year, I would say. So although it's not filmmaking as we kind of currently understand filmmaking, who's to say that won't become what filmmaking is?
Yeah.
You know, so people sit in the Pixar studios and do stuff on their PCs or whatever, creating the next Pixar movie. That you could argue that that's not filmmaking. That's just creating a cartoon. But you create a cartoon that looks real enough.
Yeah.
Then who's to say that doesn't become a filmmaking?
And you can't tell me that those people sitting in the little Pixar studios aren't using this kind of technology. You can't tell me they're not doing it.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. It's in use. It is. Of course it is.
So yeah, that is the Newsy news. I guess that was pretty much the last thing. Unless you got anything else you want to add in and throw down.
No,
and
no, I don't think so.
Just move on.
I'll just move on.
So let's move on to.
So what do you want to talk about?
It's going to be a kind of a ranty section, I guess, a little bit of putting the world to rights, or giving some praise. We can praise things as well as criticize things. Mostly we just like to criticize things, because we're just sour old bastards, really.
Yeah.
So where do you want to start? What do you want to get off your chest?
We're already talking about WWE with Cody Rhodes, so let's stick on that. So, you know, what do you think? What do you think of the current state of WWE?
I mean, I'm a TNA fan.
Okay.
I always was a TNA fan. It's not always been amazing, but it's definitely on the comeback right now as well, with the NXT connection, which I genuinely think is just WWE's way of like just being the big brother to TNA and saying, just do what we tell you, little bastards. Sometimes it works out that way. WWE right now, I am loving some. I'm loving some of the stuff they're doing. I'm not loving all of the stuff they're doing. I think the main storylines right now, the whole John Cena thing. Although, so the things I'm loving. Let's start with what I'm loving. I'm still loving LA Knight. I still think he's awesome. He's not doing a great deal right now, to be honest. But whenever I see LA Knight, I get happy. He gives me the warm fuzzies. But then that is because he's an ex-TNA guy. So, I really wish they would sort out what the fuck's going on with the Wyatt Six. I really wish they would sort that out and just commit. Because when it's good, it's good. When it's good, it's excellent, in fact. And you can see Bo Dallas really taking his brother's mantle big time. The main scene right now on SmackDown or Raw, I just don't have very much interest in. The whole Jey Uso storyline, that didn't work out for me. That championship run was terrible. Give it back to Gunther. Let Gunther run with it. Although this Goldberg thing's really fucking annoying. Over on the other side, the John Cena thing is not doing a single solitary thing for me.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I've never really been a big SmackDown guy. I was really interested in the John Cena angle, and then they just fucked it up. Or well, maybe.
Well,
it had a lot of potential.
You know where they fucked it up.
Yeah, they introduced The Rock. John Cena turned to the dark side, and The Rock was going to be his Emperor Palpatine, and then The Rock pissed off out of it. He said he couldn't be bothered doing WrestleMania. Who the hell says I can't be bothered to do WrestleMania? Yeah. And it's just
So this is the guy who turned up for one WrestleMania just to raise Roman Reigns' fucking hand when everybody hated him.
Yeah.
But he can't do anything for the John Cena storyline. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
It's just a giant wet fart. It really is, and I'm interested in to see what they do with the CM Punk side of things with it. Maybe that could pick things up. I don't think it will. The thing is, it's so predictable. It's so predictable because he's going up to December. He's going all the way up to December on his last run. Yeah. There's no way he's losing that title before December. It's going to be the last show or the last couple, at the very last minute, someone's going to take the title off him, because otherwise he's going to leave the company. And that's an interesting idea. If I'm going to take this title and I'm going to retire it, which is basically what CM Punk did back in the day anyway. But yeah, that whole thing is just a complete wet fart. It's so predictable. There was no way Randy Orton was going to beat him. There was no way R-Truth was going to beat him. There'll be shenanigans with CM Punk. Something will happen. On the Raw side of things, meh. Just meh.
A few years back, when a certain person came into the WWE proper and formed a tag team with his dad, did we ever think Dirty Dom was going to be this awesome?
Nah. He's class. I love him.
He's unbelievable, isn't he? He's so unbelievably good. And when he first came into it and started tagging with his dad and all this kind of thing, oh, my deadbeat dad and all this kind of thing, I was sitting there thinking, this won't last. This is not going to last. This storyline is pants. Dominic Mysterio is not going to be anyone for longer than 5 minutes. And it turns out he's one of my favorite people on the entire roster right now.
Yep, definitely. He is. I like the stuff that they're doing with, the Seth Rollins faction. I like that. I'm a big Braun Breaker guy. Anytime Paul Heyman's on my screen, I'm happy. Jey Uso is not a world champion. He's just not. He's an entrance. That's what he is. He's an entrance. He's not particularly good in the ring. He's really not very good on the mic. He's an entrance.
He's a good 15-minute entrance.
and then he goes like that with his hands, and then starts it again, and then just puts the fucking wrestling on.
I was never massive on Jey Uso, to be perfectly honest. As the Uso brothers, as part of the bloodline, I thought that whole storyline was really cool. That whole thing was good. It made sense. But since Roman Reigns just decided, you know what, I need a couple of years out, or I need a year out, all of them have just kind of like faded into obscurity now. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing as well, is now, so Triple H likes his long stories. Now, that's fine. I like a bit of storytelling. But you have to end them. You have to end these stories at some point. The bloodline thing is still dragging on. End it. I'm sorry, but the Judgment Day, although Dom is great, I like. The rest of them. Finn Balor's okay. Liv Morgan's fucking brilliant. Bless her. But end it. The Judgment Days ended with Rhea Ripley and Thingy when they left. End it. End your storyline and move on to something else. Put them on a different faction. Put a belt on one of them. Whatever. But end it. And there seems to be a lot of things that are dragging on endlessly.
I'm totally with you.
Like, you know, why we... I mean, Jacob Fatu is awesome. You know, but we've still got stuff going on with the bloodline and blah, 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 blah. It's just now boring, really. Just end the whole thing. Just end it. And let them move on to something else.
I find myself right now as well, I keep asking the question, where's Kevin Owens? What happened to Kevin Owens?
He picked up an injury and he had to go and get surgery for it.
Oh, so he's legit injured and he's not just not doing anything.
He's legit injured because he was going to have a match with Randy Orton at WrestleMania. That's why Joe Henry came out at WrestleMania.
Right.
That was going to be Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. But
biggest pop of the night.
It was brilliant. So yeah, that's what happened there.
So when it comes to John Cena dropping the belt, because I think we both agree that he will, is it going to be Cody that does it?
Nah. Probably. Meh.
No?
I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah. You know what the hell? Put it on LA Knight. Put it on him.
I think there's a world, right, where R-Truth ends Cena's career. I genuinely, with the story they're telling right now, it's stupid. It is absolutely stupid story right now. But I think with the story they're doing, I would love to see R-Truth take the belt from Cena, lose it the next night on Raw, and they both just retire, and that's it.
It'll be more interesting than what's going on now. No, you'll never do that. But you've got some talent down in NXT. You could bring, you know, I think who? Trick Williams is good. Like Trick Williams. Oh, you need a good guy.
Current TNA champion.
Yeah. Joe Henry.
Oh no.
Not your world champion.
I wouldn't want that.
No.
I mean, he's a world champion, but you know, now he's not my world champion because he let fucking WWE take the belt off him.
He did. That's right. You've got your. He's not world champion, not yet. Ricky Starks, he's decent. You know who I'm a big fan of, but he's kind of just an MJF. Is Ethan Page?
Ethan Page, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, he's a good bad guy. I don't know how he'd do as a good guy.
I like a bit.
But he's good in the ring. He's good on the mic. But like I say, he's just kind of an MJF character. So yeah, I don't know.
Or what about on all comers and nobody could beat him, and then the music's about to hit and it goes glorious. Fucking Bobby Roode comes down to the ring.
Oh my god! Wow. Or you know what? Him and Cena and Shawn Michaels had a good match back in the day. Get Shawn Michaels back in the ring.
Oh man! Now you want to talk about like just crowd go nuts? That would be immense. You also want to talk about Mission Impossible Final Reckoning because you went to the cinema to see this. I have also seen this movie at the cinema. So you seem to have a bit of beef.
I was really pissed off after I left the cinema on Tuesday. I won't lie. What the shit is that? It was awful. It was 3 hours
what's
long.
What's the matter with it? What did you not like?
The first hour and a half was talking in a Mission Impossible movie. The first half of the movie is talking and talking and talking and previously on and flashbacks, even at the very end of the movie, like it's the flashbacks to the fucking perils in Justice League or Batman versus Superman. Flashbacks to that stupid bloody flash drive that Luthor had, or Luthor? Yeah.
Yeah, Luther.
I know what it is. I know what it is. I've been sitting here this entire time. I know what it is. Fuck you. Don't treat me like a fucking idiot. I know what that is. It's crap. It's a bad bit of storytelling anyway. Don't show me it again. I know what it is. Thank you. That's all this movie was. That's all it was. It was previously on. Now, I get you are building up or reminding people because it's a two-parter. So you're reminding people what the stakes are. That's fine. That's okay. What I don't want in my... Now, I know Mission Impossible has always been a bit fantastic. But you've got this Matrix crap in this movie. It's like a fucking prequel to the Matrix. Your big bad is a glowy USB drive at the end. I'm going all over the place here. It's just absolute shit. It's absolute shit. There's no... no, there is a good set piece when he's in the submarine and the submarine's kind of rolling down the hill underwater, and he's in the torpedo bay, and you know where it's kind of rolling and the torpedoes are flying about the place. That's interesting. That is a good set piece. That's it. In your 3-hour Mission Impossible 30-year finale movie, one memorable set piece. How did that happen? Where were the writers? Where were the set designers? You know, with you when you're making your Mission Impossible movie, or you're deciding what your Mission Impossible movie is going to be, I assume they decide on what the set pieces are going to be, and then they build it from the ground up based around those set pieces. You have like maybe 2 or 3 memorable set pieces in your movie, and you set the story around those set pieces. That's how I'm guessing. That's how the Mission Impossible movie should work. The bit at the end of the movie when him and Christ knows what the hell that bad guy was meant to be, we're on the planes. No. The helicopter action scene with him and Henry Cavill was done so much better. It was so much more inventive. And this is your finale movie, and it's Mission Impossible it's king of the set pieces.
Mm-hmm.
It's king of. Sometimes it's nonsense. Sometimes you go fuck off movie, but it's still king of the set pieces, whether it's nonsense or not. And the bit in the submarine. Okay, yeah. So the bit in the torpedo bay was awesome. But when he got onto the torpedo launcher and launched out into the Arctic Ocean in his underwear, swam to the. You escaped the bloody great big son of a bitch submarine that was plummeting down into the bottom of the ocean. He escaped that in his underwear. He swam up in his underwear to the top, to the ice cap where Haley Atwell was sitting, just ready to fish him out. Fuck off.
You didn't love that?
It was bollocks.
Oh man, I loved seeing him in his underwear like that. I know what you're saying. It is the king of the set piece movie. And you do get the submarine. You do get the fight with the Haley Atwell and all that getting tied up and stuff. You get the Luther's death was pretty cool. I enjoyed that.
Where did that come from? Where did he get cancer or AIDS or whatever the fuck he had? Where did that come from? He didn't have that in the last movie.
That was the question I asked. I was kind of like where? Yeah, because there's not that much time passed. I think, is it like a year? Or
I think it's a
months?
year. Well, in the part 1, he had to go off grid to come up with a way to defeat the entity. The entity, by the way.
And it turned out the way he was going to defeat the entity, but was by doing nothing.
He was going to come up with a flash drive with a memory fucking thing, a voice memo function on it.
You weren't buying that?
No. And then...
It's a new age?
Hmm?
It's a new age?
No. I was not buying that. And then, so, Angela Bassett's president has to make a big decision where, so the entity is or Ultron is taking over all of the nuclear weapons in the world, and so the US's only option is to nuke them before the entity can get hold of them. And this got a genuine laugh for me in the cinema when fake Morpheus, I think it was him, suggested to the president, well, you could make a gesture. You could nuke one of the US cities.
Yeah.
So that they don't think it's as bad. And I started laughing at that point. I not since Star Trek Beyond have I been so close so many times during this 3-hour movie to walking out. I was very close. I was very close. But, you know, it's the final Mission Impossible movie, and I kind of kept on going, no, it's going to get good in a minute. It's Mission Impossible. But it didn't. It just didn't. It didn't. And it was predictable, badly written. Performances were okay, I guess. The set piece in the submarine was fine. The rest of the movie was just bad. It was just bad. It was just bad. I mean, yeah, we've been speaking about AI already tonight. Okay, I get it. You know, it's in this sort of zeitgeist at the moment.
Yeah. So
you create a what if this is these jokes are all over the place already. It's Skynet. You know, it's going to go to shit. These jokes are already there. They're already there. These memes and everything, they're already there. And what if what happens in Terminator actually happens? And that's essentially what the plot of the movie is. But they're just. I wanted to come home and watch The Matrix. I really did. I really did. And then they put the fucking the face mask on him. He plugged into the Matrix. That's what it was. He plugged into the fucking Matrix.
Yeah.
Shite. Absolute shite.
So when I went to the cinema to see it, I was down in Romford. I was at the film festival, and the day before the film festival started, I was down there a day early, and I thought, fuck it, I'll go watch Mission Impossible. So I'm sat there, and it opens up, and it's like, as you say, previously on, and it's kind of like, Ethan, we need your help. We need you to come out of hiding. We need you to do all this. And I was like, oh, man. And we started getting like a montage of all the other films. And I'm like, oh, man. Really, really bigging it up to be the finale, to be like the last film. And you're right. The rest of the movie, bar a couple of set pieces, is like, we have to get to the thing so that we can get this other thing, to get that thing, to capture this thing. It was just a whole bunch of things that they needed to do to get the next thing. Yeah. And I was just like, MacGuffins, they called them.
And then they weren't even showing it. They were the biggest example is that scene with Hayley Atwell and Tom Cruise in the bit where they're about to be tortured. Ethan has a fight with the two guys versus him.
And they don't show it.
Cameras on Hayley Atwell. Show me it. John Wick that shit. Show me it happening.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like now like the whole thing with Luther. Like, you've got to kill a legacy character. We needed one of them to die. So I was fine with the fact that it was going to be Luther. Ving Rhames has been there since the first movie. It kind of has to be him for ultimate payoff. But it was just like the cancer storyline.
We didn't need that. Just do the bomb.
Where the hell did that come from?
Yeah.
The bomb was... I loved the whole bit with the bomb when he was just sort of like... He knew he knew, like, I can only give us enough time for you to get away, basically. I love that.
I did like. I have to say, I did like Tom Cruise in that scene where Luther's kind of telling him, "Get the fuck out of here," but he was still kind of, trying the bars to get
And
him out.
like, he's looking all around the place, like, how do I get him out? How do I get him out? Like, I loved that. That was cool. But then from there, it's just like, we need to get this thing, and we're going to spend most of the time, rather than getting the thing, telling you how we're going to get the thing. Now, I like when they do that, when they, like when Benji's telling the plan, and then it cuts to Ethan telling the other part of the plan, and then it cuts back to Benji and Haley Atwell telling their part of the plan. And, I quite liked how they did that, but then I was like, oh, so you're not actually going to show us them doing it? That's just how they will do it, right? So that was a bit pants. The sub was brilliant. I really enjoyed the sub scene. I thought that was just really well done, to be fair. Really well done, to be fair. I really loved the little team that kind of teach him how to do the diving thing, and they give him the diving suit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought those characters...
That was interesting. That was actually quite interesting.
They were badass characters.
And then while all that's going on, and this also pissed me off as well, is they brought back the character from the first movie.
Oh, no.
From The Office. No, wait. No. That's fine. That is fine. But
right.
they introduce him like 3 or 4 different times to 3 or 4 different characters.
Yeah.
I know who he is now. Stop it.
Yeah. Because he has changed a lot. He's changed a lot over the years.
But he said the same line over and over again. Like, it has to be about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Where he introduced himself to another character.
Okay,
it's like, what fucking writing is this? AI. It's AI. Done by AI.
But in terms of that character, I loved that. I loved the fact he was in the movie, and I loved the fact that he was in, like, Siberia or wherever he was, because that's the joke, isn't it? You fuck off, you fuck up your job, you're gonna get sent some outpost in the middle of fucking Russia, Alaska, anywhere like that. And they actually did it in the Mission Impossible movie, and I was like, that's fucking jokes.
That's like I say, I've not got anything against him being in the movie. It's the fact that they kept on reintroducing him over and over again.
My only issue then with that character, because I got the pop and I was like, this is brilliant. I love the way you've done this. Like the way you've introduced him. But then he becomes the main character and he's in the rest of the movie. And I'm like, why the fuck is this guy in the rest of the movie?
Then bloody Steve Buscemi's brother, who's the son of what's his name from the first movie, Nicola
John Voight's character.
That's the one. He's the son of him.
Yeah, that made no sense. That was pointless. Although when they say that, when they tell you, and then like you can see it. You can almost see that they have made him look a little bit like John Voight. Because I like Shea Wiggum. I think Shea Wiggum's one of those actors.
Good. He's in a lot of things. He's good. He's good in Joker. But he's essentially getting the same character as Joker in Joker.
He's a brilliant character actor, but like, he didn't have to be Jim Phelps. He didn't have to be his son. That didn't have to happen.
It's the Star Wars Rey thing. Not everybody has to be related to each other. You know.
Do you think for 1 second that this is it?
Well, they left it wide open for another movie.
Yeah.
But if they'd done it right, if they'd actually 6 hours of screen time for your part 1 and part 2, you've got enough time there to build up a new team. Make Haley Atwell the new head of or the new action star. You've got time there. You've got that guy's partner. He was good. He was decent, and he became a part of the MI force very, very quickly though. But we'll let that one go. I wasn't too upset about that one.
It was quite funny because they were like, it was almost, it felt to me at times like they were trying to build a new team for Benji to lead.
Yeah.
But like, we're not actually going to let Benji lead the team. Haley Atwell's really going to lead the team. But we're going to tell you that it's Benji because he's been around for so long. And we're going to give him some really cool new characters you're not really going to give a fuck about. But this might be the new team going forward because Tom Cruise is probably most likely going to die by the end of this movie.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's fine.
No, he's
Everybody's fine.
He's
It's all
absolutely
good.
fine. He's, you know what? But you're bringing back characters. Bring back Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, yeah. Did you notice as well? You know when they did the montage stuff and they were showing all the different movies, they showed like bits and pieces of almost every movie. Mission Impossible 2 barely got a look in.
Yes, I did notice that. Yeah, yeah. Because it was shit.
Definitely the redheaded stepchild of the MI universe.
I liked the thing about the rabbit spook.
Oh, that pissed me off.
You didn't like that?
I liked that they work it in terms of like it's something from another movie, but it was like no, it was never that. It was never ever that.
I thought it was interesting. Probably more so from what you're saying. I like that they did the callback.
Yeah.
To MI3 because that is one of my favorites.
Oh,
because
easily.
of Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Easily.
So yeah, having it be the only way to kill the entity is nonsense. I agree, but just it's probably more the callback that I liked than the actual story. But you know, but yeah, to have even things like so, you know, you've got your big bads like Philip Seymour Hoffman, Henry Cavill, you know, Sean Harris, good, well written bad guys, and you've got a fucking flighty uppy flash drive.
Yeah.
In your finale. And they're talking about Ethan Hunt as the chosen one.
Yeah.
And it's just bollocks. I was in a bad mood after the movie. I was in a really shitty mood.
When I was in the cinema, I genuinely felt like I was enjoying this movie. Like it was this big bombastic kind of over the top kind of thing. Like loads of dialogue going on, loads of characters coming through, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm really fucking enjoying this movie. There were little bits and pieces that were niggling me, like the whole Shea Wiggum character. So there was little bits and pieces that throughout the movie, and what's her name from Guardians, Mantis. What a waste of a character. Like she didn't.
She was in it. I didn't even know she was in there.
She did nothing in this movie. She's the blonde-haired girl that kind of joins the team.
Oh, that was her.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I didn't realize
she
that.
was in the last movie as well. She was like a baddie in the last movie. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like there were things that niggled me, and there was things that I was just sort of like, yeah. But I felt like I was really enjoying this, like this send off to Mission Impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of walked out, and Andrew, who was working the concessions at the cinema, what did you think? I was like, well, it was nice and noisy. There was lots of bangs and explosions and story going on, and as you say, flashy blue lights all over the place. And I'm like, but really, it didn't really mean or do anything.
Yeah.
So, like, and then over the next few days, I was talking to a good friend of ours who we became friends with through the show. He has a connection to the movie, so I'll let you figure that one out. And I was saying to him, I was like, yeah, man, like I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a really good really good film. Slight issues here and there. And then he started like talking about a certain character, as he would.
Okay.
Basically getting sidelined for Haley Atwell. As he would mention.
Okay. I'm with you. Right, okay. Yes, that's fair. That's fair.
And I'm kind of like sitting there, and the more I talked about it to like him, to other people, I was just sort of like, I don't know if I did enjoy that movie. I think I did. So I think it's one of those movies that at the cinema, it's a spectacle. It's a big movie.
But it wasn't. It wasn't a spectacle.
Not
that
really.
much. Not compared to compare it to when they're in Dubai.
Yeah.
That's a spectacle. That's Mission Impossible. That's, you know, climbing a building in the middle of a sandstorm and you know, like just like things like that. That's what Mission Impossible should be.
Yeah.
It's huge and epic. Tom Cruise has developed a reputation for himself for being a self-made stuntman doing mad shit on the Mission Impossible sets. Like running across the roof of the building in London and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where's it all gone? Where is it?
I think they put a big emphasis on the planes at the end. They put a really big emphasis on that set.
Yeah.
But as you say, Henry Cavill in the last one, not the last one, the one before that,
yeah,
done it way better.
Mm-hmm. And even then, you've got you've got Luther there, you've got Benji there, you've got, I can't remember who it was in that movie. Wasn't Rachel McAdams? Was it? No.
Rebecca Ferguson.
That's the one. Yeah, she was. Oh gosh, yeah. But they're all they're all working together to try and stop the bomb and all that kind of thing. And that is what Mission Impossible should be. It's right down to the last second. Yes, they did that with the flash drive. But you're talking the fucking flash drive. It's a flash drive, and that's where your bad guy is Ultron, as I've said before.
It's pretty mad.
It's Ultron.
It's pretty crazy how the way you're going to defeat the big bad of the movie is by pulling a flash drive out of a board
at the right minute,
and the right millisecond, and then even then you're not even sure if you've won. But so that's our thoughts on Mission Impossible then.
It certainly is. I feel better now. I feel cleansed.
Good. That's what it's all about, man.
That is what it's all about.
So what else was there? So I put in that I wanted to do a little thing about Bella Ramsey.
Yeah.
And you put Rachel Zegler. So let's just put them together. Basically,
so what's happened with Bella Ramsey? What's happened?
Basically, I've got nothing to say about Rachel Zegler. Fuck her. Basically, I'm not a fan.
That's pretty much my thing as well. But I've been following the whole Snow White thing very well, not closely, but just with interest. This is just the Critical Drinker just did a video the other day where it's just a perfect example of not knowing when to shut the fuck up. And that's exactly what it is with her. I've never actually seen a movie with her in it. I've never watched that Spielberg West Side Story. There's no way in shit I'm going to watch the Snow White remake. I believe she's now doing an Evita remake. But I'm assuming that you and everybody who's hopefully listening has seen the clips of her on the on the balcony and talking about Snow White. Yeah. It's no longer 1930s, and she's not going to be saved by the prince, and it's just disgusting. She's just a little shitty little brat, and I don't know. I just felt like having a crack about it.
Yeah,
there's nothing more to say, really.
I'm very much with you there. So, I have seen the Spielberg West Side Story. I'll be completely honest with you. Didn't realize she was one of the women in it.
Right.
I did really enjoy the film. I thought the film was really good, but I'm a West Side Story fan. The original's one of my favorite musicals. So I was gonna watch it. Is it as good as the original? Hell no, it's not. But it's all right. Definitely haven't seen the Snow White movie because why would I? She did make a movie. What the hell was it called? Y2K. It was like a horror kind of movie, anthology.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, so she was in that. She wasn't bad in that, because she wasn't really playing Rachel Zegler. She was kind of playing an actual character, and she wasn't bad in it. But I mean, the best thing about that movie, and this tells you how good that movie is. The best thing about that movie is in the last half an hour, Fred Durst turns up and he's playing Fred Durst. And he does a rendition of Break Stuff on the stage. I mean, I was a Limp Bizkit fan back in the day, but I didn't need him in a 2024 movie. It wasn't on my bucket list. But she does very much. she needs to shut up. She needs to learn
Yeah.
when to be quiet. And I get it. She's excited because she's part of this big Disney project. But why did Disney even let her go out and do that, though? Like, why?
Well, I don't think they had much of a choice in it. She just started running her mouth. But even on Twitter, or what's it called? X. When you're in a movie with Gal Gadot, don't go on Twitter and say Free Palestine. Just don't.
Yeah.
There's no filter. There's no filter there. Whether it's because she's been protected or you know, like kept away from actual having like actual human interactions of when to shut up and read the room and know that what you're saying is not acceptable.
Yeah. I'm sure she's a perfectly fine human being, but as an actress, I don't look forward to seeing anything about her, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I mean, my biggest problem with the Snow White movie, I mean, I've not seen the movie itself, but the problem that I always had with that movie was when you put Gal Gadot and you put Rachel Zegler together, I sit there and think to myself, Gal Gadot's going to be like envious of her. I was like, that doesn't work for me. My suspension of disbelief doesn't work. And I've seen pictures of Gal Gadot in the Snow White movie, and yeah, she's playing the evil queen, but my God, she doesn't half look bad. So I'm sitting there thinking,
but still Gal Gadot at the end of the day.
Exactly. And she's not going to be going, oh, I wish I looked like that 4-foot dwarf over there. It's just not going to happen. So that was my biggest problem, and that's why I would never watch the movie. Because
I was never going to watch it anyway.
Yeah, so like from an actress who is online and is getting like quite a lot of stick, who kind of actually sort of deserves it, I do want to quickly talk about Bella Ramsey because I haven't watched The Last of Us. I watched the first series. I watched about 3 episodes of it. I have played some of the games, and the onslaught that this lassie is getting online, it's so vile and disgusting, the things that people are saying about this kid online. She's a fine actress. We saw her in Game of Thrones. We liked her in Game of Thrones. It was a cool little character towards the end. And I know she doesn't look like Ellie. She doesn't look like the character she's meant to be portraying. But let's be honest, neither does Pedro Pascal, and he ain't getting half the shit she's getting. No. I just feel like people really need to quit with this Bella Ramsey hate. I ain't a massive fan of her as an actress. She's fine. But every time I go on Twitter and I'm seeing those memes of like a potato with like Bella Ramsey's eyes, it's like, Jesus, quit fucking doing this.
I've not seen a great deal of that, to be honest with you. I'm aware of it being a thing. Do you not think it's the internet being awful?
It is the internet being awful, but like it really feels like a concerted effort to just go out there and just be dicks, just be absolute dicks.
Well, it's the same as what the internet did to what's her name from The Last Jedi. You know, Rose.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what the actor's name is. It's the exact same thing. It became a lightning rod. Just bad movie, but it became a lightning rod. You know, and she was the focus of all the shittiness of the movie, everything. And this is where Star Wars, I think, has now got a bad name.
Oh, it's really bad.
You know, I think it started. I don't think it started with Force Awakens. I think it started with The Last Jedi because it was so divisive. And I think that, this section of the Star Wars community, if you want to call it that, is just the internet. The internet is an awful place, and that's what Bella Ramsey is unfortunately experiencing. And it's not right, and it's not fair, and you know,
it just really pisses me off. Like, it does piss me off because, like, you can like a show or you can hate a show. It's completely up to you what you think about a show. That kid, she's still essentially a kid. I think she's probably out of her teens, I guess. But she's still essentially a kid, and she's still making her way in the business, and she's still like trying to make something of herself. And that's the sort of shit, like you say, Rose, who was in The Last Jedi, she like quit the internet basically.
Mhm.
She like quit Twitter, she quit like Instagram because the vitriol was just horrendous. And I'm sitting there like, is this really what we've become? Just because we don't like a TV show or we don't like an actress in a TV show, is this really? And I don't even know if it's her that people don't like or if it's like the show. But she's
I
the
think
one
it's
that's
I think it's the show. It's the same as Rose. It's a lightning rod.
Yeah.
It's everything. Not. I don't think it's a bad show. I haven't watched. I watched all of season 1. I watched about half of season 2. Up to when Pedro Pascal died. Spoilers. But it's in the game. Fuck off. But I couldn't really be arsed getting back into it after that.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't think that that Bella Ramsey's bad in it. I think, yeah, I don't think there's any reason to focus all that attention
Yeah.
there.
You know when I realised how much I didn't like it? Because you know me, I'm a heartless prick. So normally stuff like that, I'm just like, yeah, they probably deserve it. Just crack on, get on with your life. You know, go outside and touch some grass, you know. But when it really, really kind of struck me how much it was annoying me was last week, and I was watching Soccer Aid. So you know how we do Soccer Aid over here on ITV. And she was there. She was playing for England, the English team. And the bump at the start when they're talking about the different celebrities that are going to be playing, you know, in amongst all the VTs of like starving Africans, because they have to make sure they plug that every 5 seconds. They were talking about Bella Ramsey, and they were like really bigging her up, more so than any other celebrity that was there or any other like legend footballer. And I turned around to Ruby and I was like sitting there and I was like, it really feels like they're trying to make Bella Ramsey like a highlight here. Like they're trying to put the spotlight on her. And I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if she scores a goal within 5 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised because they're trying to like give us something to sort of like sit there and go, she's really cool. We love Bella Ramsey now. And that's when I really thought, are they doing that because of the hatred she's getting? And then she went on the pitch and got fucking marked out the game by Nemanja Vidic from Manchester United. So it was like, you bastards. He's like 6 foot tall and she's 4 foot. Nah. Do you want to talk about the state of Marvel and DC, or do you want to move on to our top 5 best and worst?
I think we've already spoken about Marvel and DC, haven't we? We've already kind of covered that. So
Yeah, I mean,
let's get a top 5 going.
Like my only thing is with Marvel and DC, DC's pretty much headed the same way Marvel is right now. So yeah,
I disagree. I hope I'm right. I disagree, and I hope I'm right.
So yeah, let's move on.
Let's move on.
So where do you want to start?
Let's go with worst there. Get that one out the road first.
Oh,
right.
Controversial.
Okay.
I will let you start.
Okay, right. Well, we're already kind of discussing it, so I am gonna hobby this shit, and I'm gonna say Ant-Man, Quantumania, and Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Oh, I've not actually watched Quantumania yet. I haven't.
It is
watched
dog
Quantumania
shit.
yet.
It's rank rotten. It's terrible. Absolutely, just awful. Again, I went to see this in the cinema, so I went to see it with not so much friend of the show because he doesn't listen to podcasts, but friend of ours, Paul Byrne. I went to see this in the cinema with him, and I properly embarrassed him because when what's his face came back, and he was the floaty thing with the head. I remember it. No, not Kang. That would have been good. MODOK.
All right, yeah,
I think that's right. I literally burst out laughing in a reasonably packed cinema as soon as that thing came on the screen. And every time following that, it came back on the screen. I started pissing myself laughing again. It was so bad. Have you seen any images of it or clips of it?
Not really. Nah.
Right.
I've avoided it.
It's so bad. It's terrible. It's just terrible. Aye, the movie itself is shite. I mean, yeah, you've got Michelle Pfeiffer there. You've got Bill Murray kind of farts on screen for a little bit. He was putting a toilet in or something like that, I guess. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I was really hoping it was going to be good, but it wasn't.
I really did not like Guardians 3, and I'll tell you why I didn't like Guardians 3. And this is going to be like, I don't know if this is maybe a hot take, because from what I heard from a lot of different people, this was like their favorite thing about Guardians 3. I hated the Rocket storyline.
Yes.
Yep. I absolutely hated it.
The flashbacks to when they're in the cage and all that.
Yeah.
That is just manipulative shit.
Aye.
Now, you know what? I'm an animal lover. You know, I'm a soppy bastard when it comes to that kind of thing. But you've got cartoons on a screen. I had more feeling from bloody Watership Down back in the 80s.
Oh, man.
It was bad. It was. The animation was good. Looked realistic. But the big bad in it, I remember, I didn't watch it in the cinema. I watched it on Disney when it came to Disney Plus. I just remember actually thinking, "Shut up! Shut the fuck up!" Like yelling and screaming and all that Rocket, and it was just not a good movie at all.
So my number 5, I am actually going to stick on the Marvel theme for my number 5, and I have also hobbied this shit. One of them is absolutely just a dreadful movie, so I'm going to say that one first. But the second one, I was just disappointed. I was very disappointed. So the first one is Captain America 4, Brave New World. Just utterly. Why put Red Hulk in the trailer? The whole fucking trailer for him to be in the last 5 minutes of the movie and be a wet fart of a Hulk. Just a nothing burger of a Hulk. I thought the movie was trash. I thought the storyline was trash. I thought Anthony Mackie as Captain America is not that. It's just not it. Like, really good Falcon. Really like him as Falcon. His little sidekick was utterly pointless. I hear he's going to be going on forward into other movies. I really couldn't give a shit, because I'm after Captain America 4, I kind of feel like I'm just done with the MCU now. I feel like that might have been the death nail in that coffin for me. But the one that really disappointed me, and I genuinely think you're going to hit me. I think you're going to hate me for this. Deadpool Wolverine. I found it really disappointing. Amazing, right? Amazing if you're like an MCU content consumer who just will take anything MCU and wants all the characters from everything you've ever loved to come into the movie. If that's what you're going in for, which I think is like what 90% of people went into that movie for, you're going to love this movie. But if you're an actual Deadpool fan who loved the first movie and loved the second movie, this movie just says, fuck all that, we're in the MCU now. And it does. Really,
yeah, it does. It does.
It even says it in the film. It even says in the film, fuck you, Sony, or fuck you, Fox Socks. Fuck you, Fox. We're away to the MCU now, so fuck you lot. And I just didn't. I didn't get on with it. Loved the cameos. Loved the cameos. It was great to see some of these people back. Great to see Wesley Snipes back, Jennifer Garner back. Seeing Channing Tatum as fucking Gambit was probably the funniest thing I never knew I needed in a movie ever. But honestly, I was disappointed. I was really disappointed with that film. Okay. And that's another one of those. It's another one of those, like, came out of it feeling like I'd just seen something. But then when I really like started like thinking about it and really started like probably overthinking it, but the main thing was like, you've kind of just shat on those first two movies. Yeah, that's how it felt.
That's interesting. Okay.
It was the whole case of like, so you got to play Deadpool in Wolverine Origins, Oranges. So you got to play Deadpool in that movie.
Callback. Yep.
Callback. You got to play him in that movie, and they bastardized the character. They ruined the character. So now, after all this time, you've found a way back to playing this character again. But then Marvel's thrown a whole bunch of money at you. So you've kind of just put your morals to the side and said, let's get Wolverine in the movie, which, don't get me wrong, it was great to see him and Hugh Jackman playing in the sandpit together. Like, I genuinely, like, that scene where the two of them actually face off together was just brilliant. Apart from the fact that I'm sitting there thinking, this is pointless because neither of them can fucking die.
Yeah.
Short of cutting each other's heads off. Like, neither of them's going to die here. So it was slightly pointless. I thought Nice Pool, what the fuck was that? What was that? You know, Nice Pool. When he goes
Nice Pool. Oh, no, I thought you said nice.
What was that?
I like Nice Pool. I like Nice Pool. Did you make of dog?
Well, Dog Pool was just a really ugly fucking dog, to be fair. I've got 2 dogs. I'm not exactly the biggest dog person in the world. I could have took it or leave it. I just felt this was just like joke after joke after joke after joke. Whereas, like, in the last 2 Deadpool movies, you got those jokes and you got the fun, but you also got a whole ton of heart. And I didn't really feel heart in this movie.
Well, you had the kid from Hunt for the Wilder People.
Yeah.
And there, he was incredible in that movie. And there wasn't there was some laughs with him, but he was mostly building up the story of the shit that he'd been through. So I get your point. I get your point there. They kind of they tried it. They sort of tried that with Wolverine you know, he'd not been at the mansion when there was a slaughter or something like that. So they kind of tried that.
So I do caveat that. I do caveat that choice. Like, I wouldn't say it's one of the worst movies I watched over the last 5 years, but it was one of the most disappointing. Like, I just found it really, really disappointing. And the whole fucking... so the whole fucking point of that second movie was his love of Vanessa. That was the whole point, and finding the family, like, not the family you have or but the family you come upon, like that kind of storyline. And then in the third movie, fuck all that. We're going to go and play with the MCU.
It was tagged on. That whole stuff was tagged on. There was, I was disappointed with the lack of Vanessa in the movie because she was such a big part of the previous ones. So same with. I mean, I think probably the blind roommate, she's probably in the same amount of screen time. I did love the part near the start of the movie about you want to do some cocaine.
Oh yeah,
and they're throwing around. Do you want to build a snowman? I do, but I can't. I did love that. That was a proper funny moment in it.
So what's your next one?
Let's see. So Jurassic World Dominion.
Oh wow!
Let it go. Let it die. The
it's not going to die. There's another one coming out.
I know there is. I'm not going to see it in the cinema. I'll wait for Sky Movies or Sky Cinema. Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with it. I'll watch it. Same as bloody Terminator and all that. I'll watch it and I want it to be good. Probably won't be. Jurassic World Dominion was you had Sam Neill back and you know the crap.
Sattler.
The other ones.
The other ones.
And oh man, it was just so shitty. It was just so shitty, and just bad movie. Bad movie.
I'll agree.
It should never have gone past Jurassic Park.
It shouldn't have. I'm totally with you on that one. It didn't make my list, but it was on my short list, but it didn't make the short list. Well, you've probably got more to say about that than I have about my number 4 because Matrix Resurrections.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Meh.
What the absolute fuck?
It didn't get a great deal of attention from me. I think I put it on when it came to Sky Cinema. I fell asleep probably, I guess. I don't remember anything about the movie.
When you talk about movies
and I do at length. But when you talk about movies that are just really, really pleased with themselves, really, really happy with the concept, really, really. But I mean, essentially, the concept of that movie is just, The Matrix did happen, but it was a bunch of games that we made, and then the main character from the game was Keanu Reeves, and now he's actually not in the game; he's still in the Matrix. And by the end of that film, I was just like, "What the fuck is Neil Patrick Harris doing in this?" That was like
Using
my
that,
main.
honestly, I have no recollection of it whatsoever.
Yeah, he was like Neil Patrick Harris was like the like therapist slash architect.
Was he the big bad?
Kind of. He's maybe Agent Smith, but not really. Yeah, it fucking sucked. It sucked ass. And fake Lawrence Fishburne did nothing for me. Like, why Lawrence Fishburne didn't come back for that movie, I don't know, because was he doing like John Wick or something at the time?
Well, but Keanu's there.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you would think they would make the time, but sucky movie, bad movie, terrible movie.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Almost as bad as Matrix 3.
It's got its moments.
It does have its moments.
It's mostly bad, but it has its moments.
Yeah.
My next one is Damsel.
Oh, the Millie Bobby Brown thing.
Yeah.
But you
It's
love
dog
her.
shit. It's fucking awful.
But you love Millie.
I do not. You do. Stop trying to make her a thing. She's.
What?
No.
Not even as Enola Holmes.
I've not seen that.
You're not missing anything.
And I will not watch it. Yeah, awful. Just.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it was like I was either ill or hungover. I can't remember which, and I kind of saw that had Ray Winston in it, so I put it on. Some of it had a little bit of an interesting premise where they're, getting girls in to marry this guy so that they can feed her to the dragon.
Ooh.
Kind of interesting. Shitty, just a shitty movie. And the one bit that stands out was so she's trapped in a cave. That people who are listening to this aren't going to see it because I'm going to do an action for you. But she's she's stuck in a cave with the dragon hunting her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bit where she finds some water dripping from above. Okay, and so there's water dripping from above, right? And she does this to the dripping water.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was like, who wrote this? Who fucking wrote this scene? Because holy shit, she should not be filming that scene. I don't know how old she is, but surely there was some kind of agent going, what the fuck is this?
They've written that. They've basically written that because they had Millie Bobby Brown.
Fucking pervert. Yeah, it's a bad movie. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it.
So my number 3, I'm hobbying this one again. It's a double, but it's because it's the same director. So it's M. Night Shyamalan. We are big fans of that man on this show. Old. Did you ever see Old?
Didn't see Old.
Terrible. And Trap.
I kind of like Trap.
What the fuck did you like about Trap? Come on. Right, let's unpack this. What did you like about Trap?
It was an interesting premise for a movie.
How was it interesting?
You got a serial killer taking his dog to a concert, and there's police hunting for him. That's interesting.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous on every level. Like, why are the police, right? Okay, so I know they're setting a trap for the serial killer that is supposedly going to be there. Why would they fucking let him in the building anyway with like 40,000, not 40,000.
Because they didn't know it was him.
That's a reach.
It's a trap.
So they've knowingly let him in there, right? And then he acts like a serial killer the entire fucking movie. His own daughter is like, Dad, you're acting really fucking weird, kind of like a serial killer. Like, I love Josh Hartnett. and I love when Josh Hartnett commits to a role, but he kind of overcommitted to this role was my main problem. And then, so everything that Josh Hartnett needed to go right for him to succeed and get out just happened to go right at all the right moments. So you've got the girl who's like working in the shop, but he needs to get through that door, so he goes and thingies the alarm, he goes through, and somehow nobody sees him go through the door of the staff room to like pull the alarm or put the thing in the chip fat or whatever it was. So we'll just write that one off. Then you've got the person on the rooftop who should be absolutely checking him because he knows there's a fucking serial killer there, and just kind of lets him get away with it. And he's like, nah, just go away. And then the one guy who might get him backstage to go and see this singer, who's a shit singer, by the way, but it's M. Night's fucking daughter. So, I mean, the whole movie is basically publicity for her. So the one person who could get him backstage to go and meet her is her uncle, who just so happens to be working fucking security 2 rows behind where Josh Hartnett's standing. I'm like, fuck off, movie. Fuck right off.
He's resourceful.
He's not resourceful. He's the luckiest serial killer in the world ever. And then, right, so at the end, or near the end, when he's in the limousine and it crashes, and then somehow like he escapes dressed as a paramedic, how in the fuck did he get out of the car without anybody seeing him, get to the ambulance, change into the paramedic stuff, and fuck off down the road? Nah. There was about 10 people, 15 people there, all with mobile phones, one person specifically looking for him, and nobody saw him. Bollocks. Trap could potentially be my least favourite M. Night Shyamalan movie ever.
Wow.
And Old is just as bad. Old is just interesting concept for Old.
So what's Old about?
So Old is when like they end up on a beach somewhere, and when they get on the beach, they realise they can't get back off the beach, and the more time they spend on the beach, they grow old. So it's like over the span of a couple of hours, they age like 20-odd, 30-odd years. And there's this whole like M. Night Shyamalan twist to it where like they're actually part of an experiment where these people are trying to find the cure for cancer or the cure for all sorts of ailments. Really shit movie. Great concept. Actually very good concept, I thought. Just really shit movie. Okay. Not as bad as Trap.
Doesn't sound very good. I do like that episode of Deep Space Nine though. Yeah,
absolutely. That's it. you put it in a. I love the fact that you like Trap though. That's tickled the fuck out of me.
I enjoyed it.
What's your next one?
I don't know which one I'm going to put next. Okay, I've already talked about it. I'm going to say Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning.
It's not that bad.
It is. It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you have it. That is a shame though.
It is a shame.
Yeah.
But it is that bad.
So anything else you want to say, or will I move on to mine?
No, I've talked about it enough.
Yeah, so my second worst movie of the last 5 years is Gladiator 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For the simple fact, it just didn't need to happen.
It didn't need to happen at all. No.
We didn't need it. And I feel like if you are going to do it right, but do something right with it. I'd don't ask me what I would have done with it, because personally I would have done it. I would never have done it anyway.
Did you ever see the clip of what Ridley Scott had in his head of how to do a second one?
Is this the one where it's like set in heaven or something like that?
It's Maximus, Russell Crowe, goes through like a portal.
Oh yeah, and he goes through all the different walls.
Aye.
See, right? I'll be honest with you.
No.
Way more interesting than what we got.
I mean, that's true.
Because what we got was essentially Gladiator 1 with Paul Mescal. It was just like, they just remade the movie, and then you had a really fucking weird cast choice of Matt Lucas being in there. That threw me for 6. That really threw me for 6. Pedro Pascal, utterly like I'm one of those people right now that thinks Pedro Pascal is doing too much.
He is doing too much. Yeah.
He's in everything. He's everywhere all at once.
He's getting overexposed, and people will get fed up of it.
Big time. And in that movie, and Gladiator 2, is one of the one cases where I'll say perfectly cast, completely underutilized.
Yeah.
Just didn't make any sense in being in there. There was no point to it, but he was great. He was good at what he did. I just thought the film was it just didn't need to happen.
It didn't need to happen. I'll agree with you there. Yeah, I've seen it. Meh. It's same as. I wouldn't watch it again. No.
And then you have those two weird twin brother thing going on with.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Well, I mean, to be fair, like historically, that's actually quite accurate. Like they were messed up.
From what I've heard, definitely. But like fucking Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things. What?
Which one's he?
One of them. I can't even remember which one he was.
One of them.
He was one of them, and I just remember seeing him and thinking, "Oh no, you're going to be Johnny Storm."
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, okay.
Same hair.
Yeah. He was in Warfare.
He was in Warfare, and he was
Yes,
he was pretty decent in Warfare.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah, he was.
everybody was pretty decent in Warfare, to be fair. But no, he was good in that. But not in Gladiator 2.
No, I don't think. No. It could have been good, maybe. But it didn't.
I don't even know what you could have done with it to make it better. It just.
Yeah.
So what's the last one?
Okay, last one. Well, see, this is actually 2 movies, but I haven't seen the second one because the first one was dog shit. So it's so I've only put the first one on. So it's Rebel Moon Part 1.
Oh, you bastard! Wow.
You didn't like it. You liked it.
You're gonna hit me with some Zack Snyder as your like worst of the last 5 years.
Mate, it was pish.
It's not great.
Crap. It was crap. I didn't get the whole way through the movie. I made it maybe, I don't know, about half an hour. Maybe slightly more. As soon as Charlie Hunnam came in and started doing his accent, I switched off.
Yeah, Charlie Hunnam's not great.
He was just being Han Solo, which I'm not interested. So yeah, no. And I didn't finish the movie. Didn't watch the second movie. I believe he had a whole series of these Rebel Moons because this was supposed to be a Star Wars series.
He's done the second one. I don't think they'll do another one.
Well, it's gotten trashed, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll honestly, I don't love them, but I do like them. They are pretty cool. Charlie Hunnam did not need to be in it though, and his accent is absolute trash. But no, yeah, I can't really defend that one too much. I can understand why people wouldn't like it, but me being like a Snyder whore, I can't be too harsh on it. It's like it's in my contract.
I like Zack Snyder. I wasn't going in there like expecting it to be as bad as it was, but it was.
Yeah. No, I'll let you have it. My number 1 is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
You can't put that on your worst list.
I can. I absolutely can.
No.
No. So, Winnie the Pooh 2, which is also called Blood and Honey, isn't bad. It's
right.
Actually, it's a vast improvement on the first movie, which is a very low fucking bar, but it's still better. The only thing about the second one is that it tries to forget about the first one while also using the first one as canon. So,
right.
Yeah. So basically, we'll talk about the second one. So the second one, right, is after the first one, obviously, and Christopher Robin is like living in this town still, and he's trying to get on with his life. But Winnie the Pooh, the Pooh massacre the Pooh massacre in 100 Acre Wood did actually happen, only it didn't really happen because nobody believes him that it was Winnie the Pooh that done it. They all think it was him. However, they've made a movie within Winnie the Pooh 2 about the first movie. So they're trying to say the first movie was just a movie.
They screamed to it.
Yeah, they screamed to it, basically. Just way, way worse. But they try to... So they don't want to commit to the bit, but they also want to commit to the bit.
Okay.
Which is basically what I'm trying to say. And the second one is a lot better. But my main thing was with the second one, I was like sitting there going, so everybody knows Christopher Robin, or everybody suspects Christopher Robin was the one that killed all the girls in the first movie. And they all suspect that he's a psychopathic mass murdering, bear-loving prick. They all seem to think this, right?
Okay.
However, even though everybody in the town thinks this, they still let him work at the local hospital as a child fucking nurse.
Of course they do.
Because you would. Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But that first movie is absolutely nothing but a cash grab. It was an IP had to become available.
Yep.
We're going to milk it for everything it's worth. And now every fucker's doing it. So we're getting Mickey Mouse movies.
You're getting Steamboat, and I think Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Now again, Peter Pan, Neverland Nightmares. Same people that did Winnie the Pooh. It's going to be part of the Poohniverse. So they made that as well. and Peter
That's
Pan.
not what they're calling it.
They're calling it a Poohniverse. Yeah. They're calling it a Poohniverse.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. It's so bad, but it's kind of good.
I kind of think of it as the room of
No. The room has merit in my eyes. The room has a place in the world.
Okay.
In my eyes. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 1 definitely doesn't. It should just be stricken from the record. But yeah, so Peter Pan, Neverland Nightmares is actually a pretty fucking good movie. Like, again, it's better than the first Winnie the Pooh. Again, low bar. It's way better than the second Winnie the Pooh, but again, it's pretty low bar. But the Peter Pan film is pretty fucking good. It's pretty sick. It's pretty, they really went down a fucking dark road with Peter Pan. But, I mean, that first Winnie the Pooh movie, fucking hell. Suck a dick. It was awful.
I've seen it. I don't know. You know how I used to watch like Sharknado and those types of movies. So those types of movies still have a special place for me.
They have a place for me.
When I watched it, I had quite a good time watching it.
They still have a place for me, those Sharknado movies and Asylum movies. I mean, we love Asylum movies. Fucking hell, of course we do. They're just amazing. But, like, when an Asylum movie is exponentially better than your Winnie the Pooh movie, there's a problem there, right?
There is a problem there.
There's a problem there. So, yeah, Winnie the Pooh, the first Winnie the Pooh, easily the worst film of the last 5 years for me. Like, I've watched some real shit, but that was shit. And the best of it is, like, a couple of the girls in that first movie I've interviewed, and I actually rate. I think they're really cool girls. Like, I think they've got like pretty decent careers going for themselves. They're going to do quite well. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it doesn't change the fact that that film's just ass. Yeah. The Poohniverse.
The Poohniverse. Oh my good God.
It writes itself.
It does write itself. I mean, it's, yeah.
The MC Pooh.
MC. That's better. I like that better. Yeah. I like that better.
Right, so from the dog shit, let's move on to our top 5 bets.
Couple of quick honorable mentions for worst. Napoleon, which was fucking dishwater, and Morbius.
Oh, Morbius wasn't that bad.
No.
You just don't like Jared Leto.
It was crappy. Right, so best. Right, where am I going to start here? Right, let's see. Lee
Lee.
with Kate Winslet.
Never watched it.
It's set during the Second World War. It's a true story about a photographer who went behind the lines. So I think it's a Sky original. Excellent movie. Kate Winslet is fantastic in it.
So
I would really highly recommend that you give it a watch.
So nothing else to say on that one?
Not really. There's nothing else to say. That I mean, honestly, that she's fantastic in it. I mean, the whole cast is fantastic in it. But just the fact that it's a true story and some of the shit that she goes through when she's behind the lines and that, and it's a really, really good movie.
Cool.
Yeah.
I will check it out at some point. I do remember seeing it when it was on the go. So I will check it out. It just looked a bit heady for me. It looked a bit like I'm gonna have to spend some time watching that movie.
It's a bit of a talky talk. Yeah, it's not a huge amount of action or anything like that. Well, it kind of is because she's in the Second World War, but it's about Kate Winslet doing what Kate Winslet does best. Not getting her tits out.
That's exactly what I said. My number 5. Yeah, I'm going to go with this one. It's an Indian movie. It's kind of like a Bollywood kind of production.
Okay.
The movie's called Kill. It was on Amazon Prime. I don't know if it was an Amazon original, but that's where I saw it. Totally, I love The Raid. I love all that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this was like an Indian version of The Raid set on a train. And it was absolutely fucking brutal. Like, just such a good movie, but like so well played as well. Like the lead character, his girlfriend is getting on a train with her dad, and her dad's like a dignitary, and he wants to be on the train so he can tell the dad, I'm with your daughter, not that man that you're forcing her to get married to. I'm actually with her, so I need you to I want your blessing and kind of thing like that. But then also a bunch of terrorists get on the train and they're going to capture the dad because that's how movies work. And then at some point, this guy just has to kick the absolute living fuck out of everyone because he's a total badass, brutal, like ex-army kind of just punchy kicky dude. The movie, it's The Raid on a train, basically.
Okay, I mean,
but like the thing that I was already really enjoying it and I was really into it, but about like 40 minutes into the movie, you get a death in there that is like so unbelievably brutal and you don't see it coming, and it just makes the main character just flip. And it's one of those moments in a movie like I've not been like affected in a long time in a movie quite like that. I was like, oh my god, that was fucking like, wow, okay. And then, like, the movie continues and just goes nuts. Great soundtrack, awesome action. Yeah, I loved it.
That was kind of the best parts of The Raid as well, was like, holy shit, what did I just see?
And absolutely.
Yeah.
And he's using, like, because it's like a sleeper train as well, so you've got, like, the bunk beds on the sides, so he's, like, using the bunk beds to, like, smash people's faces into, and you're just sort of like, oh, this is badass. So, yeah, I love that movie.
I would watch that. I've never heard of it, but I would watch it.
It's just called Kill, and like I say, it's on,
right.
sure it's like Amazon Prime it's on.
Okay, I'll give that a watch. Next on my list is The Iron Claw. Have you seen that?
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
I did think about this one, but then I remember just how sad it made me feel.
It's very sad and true. Again, true. For anybody who doesn't know, it's about the wrestling family, a well-known wrestling family, the Von Erichs. Is that right? I think it's Von Erichs.
Yes, Von Erichs.
And just shit that happened to these poor people over the years. Multiple family members. Again, all of it true. People losing legs and bloody and. Oh my god. Zac Efron is incredible in it.
Yeah.
And sad movie, not a comedy whatsoever. But again, highly recommended.
The thing is as well, like when you read into that story as well, like that wasn't even half of it. Like the stuff in the movie is not even like half of what they went through, and you're like, fucking hell, man. And there's like one of the characters is like two of the real life brothers like wrapped into one, because it was like, this could be a bit too much, and it's like, no, what you've shown me is a bit too much. That's a great film. Great film.
That is.
And see, like MGF had a lot to do with that as well.
Did he? Right?
Like behind the scenes and everything, he had a lot to do with like Zac Efron and everything.
I didn't know that.
My number 4 is a movie called Boiling Point. You may have heard of it.
Oh, with right.
Stephen Graham.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good movie.
So the movie's awesome. I love the movie. I'm a little bit biased because I have interviewed the director a couple of times, because me and Phil Barantino were fucking like that. One of the first one-take movies that I've watched that truly felt like it was an actual movie. Like I've seen a lot of one-take things, and it's just like, usually it's just like an action piece, just like one take of just people kicking shit over each other. And don't get me wrong, I love that. But this was like a movie that like had like moving parts to it. They were going through different rooms in the kitchen. They were going through the restaurant. The characters, the actors, everyone in it is just stunning. Stephen Graham, forget about it. Like what haven't we said about Stephen Graham at this point? Like he's just the single greatest actor in Britain today. In my humble opinion, they made a TV series out of it as well.
Yeah, I tried to watch that. I didn't get very far with it.
It's good, but it doesn't. Personally, I didn't really think it said much that the film didn't say. If you know what I mean, I felt like it was a nice extension, but we didn't really 100% need it. I do like it, but we didn't necessarily. Plus, we've got the bear, and the bear's amazing. The bear is
amazing. Yeah, I'm on. I think I've watched the first 2 seasons.
It's just outstanding TV show, The Bear. So Boiling Point is. I wouldn't say the TV show is redundant, but when you've got the bear, just watch the bear. But the movie, the Boiling Point movie, I just think is an absolute masterclass. And when I spoke to Phil about it as well, so obviously it's all in one take. So they had 5 nights blocked out for filming the film. They got finished on the second night of filming the film. That just sounds stupid, doesn't it? So they got done on the second night of filming. They'd got all the way through it both times. Got done on the second night, and bang, lockdown, COVID hits.
Oh, right, okay.
So the other 3 takes that they were gonna have, they didn't have. So that was it. Like,
wow.
They were basically like, one of your 2 takes that you've done has to be the film, you know.
And is it a legit, genuine one take?
Absolutely.
Not like your 1917 where they go behind a plant pot or something and cut.
No. Absolutely legitimate one take. No cuts, no like smart cuts or anything like that. It is just one take. Which, when you think about the range of emotions and the range of like what Stephen Graham goes through in that movie.
Oh man, he's bloody good. And the good part about him in that movie is he's either going to completely break down or blow up.
Aye. Yeah.
At all times. It is really bloody good. I can't believe I didn't think of that.
And then in that movie as well, his wife, not Hannah Waddingham, that's the other one. What's his wife called again? I forget what his wife's called. So she's just sensational in that movie as well. So she's like the chef through the back that makes the cakes. She's dealing with the young lad that's cutting himself all the time. And just their scenes, Jesus Christ, man, what a film! Yeah, that was my number 4 of like the last 5 years easily. It could have easily gone higher, and then of course they've gone on to do the Adolescence series, which everybody was talking about for, you know. So
very good. Yeah.
Did you watch Adolescence? Did you like it?
I did. I think saying I liked it is not appropriate. I thought it was very good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I liked it. It was too uncomfortable for that.
Oh, it is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's It's meant to be
I
uncomfortable.
mean, that the scene in, I think, maybe the second episode or something, where they're like strip searching the kid,
yeah,
and the camera's close up on Stephen Graham. Oh my god,
yeah.
fantastic!
And that
But
would have been
uncomfortable, like
that
so
would have been
uncomfortable.
even harder to film that, you know, because they were
Mhm.
really moving around. Like they
Mhm.
were fucking going halfway across town, kind of thing. Yeah,
And
yeah.
that the final episode where again he's just either going to blow up or break down, and he kind of does both. When they've spray painted the side of his van, and they're trying to force a family day on themselves, and some bastard has spray painted the side of his van. Oh, it's just phenomenal acting.
But again, like as an actor doing like a one take like that, and you've got to get yourself to such a height of like losing your shit to then, you know, the show's only like an hour each episode, and you've got to bring yourself back down for that car journey home to then go even further down. It's just like, Jesus Christ, the range on this man. Unreal.
Oh yeah, well, it's like I'm Stephen Graham.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
He's fast becoming like the you know, the Gary Oldman, the Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's becoming that guy. Like I genuinely, 100% hand on heart, like I put him as the best thing Britain has right now.
Yeah.
So what's your next?
Okay, another two-parter. So June Part 1 and Part 2.
Wow.
No?
Didn't see that coming. I slept through both of them.
Oh, you did not, stop lying.
I did.
Well, I saw the second one in the cinema. The first one on Sky. Just pure sci-fi.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, I'll give it that.
You know, that's just what sci-fi is supposed to. Great cast in there, all round fantastic performances. They look amazing. I never saw the original back in the 80s or whenever it was, but they're phenomenal movies. I just love them.
I'm not a huge fan, but in terms of like visual spectacle and stuff like that, absolutely. Like I get it. I get why people love those movies. I get why they get the acclaim. Like, was it Denis Villeneuve? He's the one that makes them. Like, he's a stunning director. He's definitely like a cracking director. So yeah. And they're making more apparently.
They are making the second one ends with a proper "you're never going to believe this," so that they had to make more, and it made money as well. They're doing good money.
I was tempted to drop this off my list, but you know what? I love this film. I've watched it a couple of times now. It's a pairing that we know and we love from another movie, Banshees of Inisherin.
I've never heard of that in my life.
Fuck off. With Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson.
Oh, is that a follow-up to In Bruges?
Not really, but yeah.
Right.
Oh
okay.
Man, you've got to watch it.
I didn't even realize that existed.
Oh, this is amazing. So, Banshees of Inisherin, it is kind of like it's not really in Bruges at all. They're living on like an island just off of Ireland. It's kind of like set a little bit way back, and they're two best friends, Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson. And then one day, Colin Farrell comes to see Brendan Gleeson because every day they go to the pub together or they do this thing together. And Brendan Gleeson's like woke up this one day and he's decided that he doesn't like Colin Farrell anymore. And he doesn't want to be friends with him anymore. And that's that. And Colin Farrell's like, well, what did I do? And he's like, you didn't really do anything. He's like, so why do you not want to be friends with me? He's like, because I just don't want to be friends with you anymore. You're a prick. You've always been a prick. I don't like you anymore. So it's basically Colin Farrell trying to befriend Brendan Gleeson again. And it's one of those Irish stories that, like, it doesn't really do much of anything. And it just is them two just being awesome actors and just using their In Bruges chemistry and bringing it to another. I'm sure it's the same director from In Bruges as well.
Right.
So they're all together again. And Barry Keoghan's in there as well.
Okay.
As, like, this little reptile that sort of lives in the town near them. And he sort of like loves the fact that they're friends, but they're having a hard time, and he wants to help them become friends again. And it's a really fucking good film. It's just pure
I
dialogue.
would watch that. Yeah, I would watch that. I like myself some Brendan Gleeson. So.
You should absolutely. Brendan Gleeson, it's probably like, I'd say his performance in this is better than in Bruges. I think he does a really good performance in this film. Like, especially, he tells him at one point, he's like, look, seriously, if you come round my house again and you knock on my door, I'm going to cut one of my fingers off. And Colin Farrell's like, well, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you like threaten to cut one of my fingers off? And he's like, because then you'll still come round. So I'm going to cut one of my fingers off. And then every day you come round, I'm going to cut another finger off. So, of course, he turns up one day and he genuinely cuts his finger off. It's just fucking like, what the fuck? It's just a crazy little Irish movie that is just so much fun. But again, not a lot happens. It is just about their relationship. And it's fantastic. It's really, really good.
I'll watch that.
Really
I'll watch that, yeah. Can't believe
you'll
I've
love
never heard of it.
You will absolutely love that film. So what's next?
There you go. The Trial of the Chicago 7
Oh, yeah.
on Netflix.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Very good movie. You've got a good cast in there. Sacha Baron Cohen, Eddie Redmayne's in there. Oh, man, the cast is... What a big cast. But yeah, so again, true story. About a group of people in I think it was the 70s, where they're trying to do a peaceful demonstration. Everything kicks off, kind of. What's his name? Mark Thingy. Played BFG. Nah.
Oh, Rylands.
That's that one. Aye. He's in there.
Played the BFG.
Well, at that moment in time, I couldn't think of any other movies he'd been in. Oh, bloody Dunkirk. Shit. Aye. Okay. Anyway, bygones. Yeah, it's 25-12.
It is.
Yeah. So, yeah, very good movie. Again, true story. Some of the outrageous shit that the judge pulled during the trial. Especially against one of them who was a Black Panther, and the treatment they gave this man is quite appalling.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very, very, very good movie.
Cool. I did enjoy that one. I did enjoy it. Like, one of the few times that Netflix actually somehow managed to like make a good film.
Yeah, they can do it when they're not
They
throwing
can.
money at The Rock and bloody Ryan Reynolds. Yeah.
My number 2, Boy Kills World. Have you seen Boy Kills World?
I have not. I've heard of it, but I've never got around to watching it.
One of the most fun movies I've seen, like, pretty much ever. Again, punchy, kicky movie, load of violence to it, kind of like The Raid, but you've got Pennywise playing the main character, so that's fun. He plays like a mute, so obviously he's not talking all the way through it. And he's got the voiceover from the dad in Bob's Burgers. So
Okay.
you've got the main character in Bob's Burgers. He does the narration for Boy, and so whenever Boy's thinking something, you've got Bob's Burgers saying it, which is really, really cool. Like, and it does work. Very stylized. It's kind of like Running Man at one point, which, I mean, you can't really beat the Running Man cracking film, which apparently they're remaking.
They are remaking it with what's his name playing
Paul.
Aye.
Yeah. Really, really cracking cast. Other than Bill Skarsgård, you got Yarn Ruin. He played Mad Dog in The Raid, so he's doing all the he's doing all the choreography, using that kind of the Marantu or whatever they call it, the style that him and Iko Uwais kind of came up with. I just think this is one of those movies that, for some reason, and it pisses me off. It came out to like very little fanfare, and I just feel like people actually need to find it and see it and watch it, because it's such a good movie. And Bill Skarsgård, when he's not talking, that's when he's doing his best acting. Like, because he's got a weird fucking voice. Let's be honest. He's got a weird tone to his voice, and it works for Pennywise.
You know, in John Wick 4,
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's so good. He's sinister as hell in John Wick 4.
He's brilliant in John Wick 4. And so in this, most of his acting is just physical acting, using eyes, kind of stuff like that. And it was one of the most fun movies I've watched in years. Like, really, from start to finish, from the first punch he throws to the last punch he throws, I'm just sitting there like, I am loving this movie. And there's loads of like computer game shtick in there. So he comes to have a fight with someone, and just before the fight starts, the voiceover from Bob's Burger was like, "Player 2 has entered the game," because basically he takes his voice from an arcade machine that he grew up with when he was playing this arcade game. It's like called Dragon Death Punch 4 or something like that.
Okay.
And the voice of the arcade machine that says "Player 2 has entered the game," select your character. That's the voice that he now has in his head.
Sounds trippy as shit.
It is. It's so
Is it a
good.
bit Scott Pilgrim-y?
It's kind of Scott Pilgrim. Yeah, it's Scott Pilgrim meets The Raid, meets Running Man.
You've got my attention. I have heard of the movie. Big fan of Bill Skarsgård as well. He's awesome.
He's excellent.
Not in the Crow remake though.
I had no issues with the Crow remake.
You're wrong. Well, you're wrong.
So here's the thing with the Crow remake, right? If you watched that movie, having never seen the original Crow, I think you'd enjoy the Crow remake.
Yeah, but I had.
Exactly. That's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because it should never have been Eric Draven's story. It should never have been
do an original movie.
Exactly. Every other Crow sequel. Every Crow sequel was a different Crow. Different character, different Crow. This movie tried to reboot the Crow.
Yeah.
It was destined to fail. Destined to fail.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And what the fuck was it with FKA Twigs? What was that? The female character in that movie. What the fuck?
Was she in a mental home or something?
Yeah, but because you had that character, they turned Eric Draven into like this emo punk bitch, and it just didn't. It didn't work for me. It didn't work for me.
It was another one that got put off.
Again, if you've never seen the original, it could be a pretty cracking, pretty decent movie, good concept. But if you've seen the original, just fuck that movie.
Don't bother. Yeah, most people have seen the Crow, the original Crow, haven't they?
Well, you would hope.
Maybe not now.
Yeah.
Probably more people have seen the original Crow than the number of people who watched the remake.
But even why make him look like Pete Davidson? What was that about? That's not going to win you any fans.
Not going to win anything. No, it's really not. Really not. Okay.
What's your last?
So my last one is, I don't know if I'm saying this right. It's a Finnish movie.
Ooh.
Saizu.
Oh, is this the war one?
Yes. Back to the Second World War. So it is brutal.
Aye.
Brutal.
That's like the movie that Quentin Tarantino wishes he could make.
Yeah. So it's set at the end of the Second World War in Finland. So the Nazis are retreating. He's wanting to go home. The Nazis try and fuck his shit up, and the Finnish army had a reputation for being badasses. So he kind of, he takes umbrage.
Amazing film.
He's so good. The whole movie's good. It is so brutal. So great. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's a fantastic film. It's on Netflix. It's on Netflix now. I'd definitely recommend that as well. I loved that film. Didn't get near my top 5 or anything like that, but yeah, you're totally right. It's a spot on film.
That's one of the ones that was always going to be on there. I just wasn't sure where, but it's
And you do kind of spend most of the film like, how does he up this? How does he up the ante?
Yeah.
Because you kind of want it to get more and more brutal.
Very much so, yeah. Especially, everybody likes killing Nazis, so make it
Who
inventive.
doesn't love killing Nazis?
Yeah, exactly. So what's your number one?
My number one, and so I've been waiting 5 years to say this. I've been waiting a long time to say this to you and to anybody else out there listening. So COVID happened, of course, and with COVID came a lot of free time, and a certain someone managed to get a film back that he'd made, and he was able to make it the way it was supposed to be made. My favorite movie of the last 5 years is Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Oh. Okay.
I adore the Snyder Cut. Not something I say out loud very often, because it comes with haters and it comes with you're a fucking idiot and you're a cock gobbler for the Snyder, which maybe I am, but I genuinely thought that was a perfect movie. It's like 5-6 hours long. You want to talk about comic book accuracy? It's there.
Mm-hmm.
The thing Snyder does best is taking a comic book panel and putting it on the screen and making it move. And everything he did in his version of Justice League, not the Joss Whedon one, because
no, fuck that. Another time I almost walked out of a movie.
Exactly, and I wouldn't have blamed you, but I think this is one of those times as well. Like from the interviews I've read and bits of articles that I've seen about this kind of situation, I don't think we would have got this if it wasn't for COVID, if it wasn't for the lockdown, if it wasn't for like all that free time and people not making anything and people like not being able to go out and film shit. So Warner Brothers were kind of like, you know what, you can have the movie, but you kind of got to finish it yourself. We'll give you this, we'll give you that, but you've got to finish it yourself. And then he painstakingly for months, we got drip fed little bits and pieces, and it was like, this actually looks like a fucking badass movie. And then it came out and I watched the whole thing in one night. I saw people saying, oh, but you've got to watch it in stages. No, you fucking don't.
No, you don't. I literally watched it last weekend all in one go.
It's amazing. It's an amazing film. And the introduction of other characters, like the fact, like, oh, yeah.
I would have been very interested to see where it went following that movie.
Well, exactly, because
you've got the Manhunter in there, Martian Manhunter, obviously Darkseid on his way, that type of thing.
It sets up so much, but it sets things up perfectly. And when people kept on saying, oh, but he's not done the Marvel thing and he's not done the solo movies and then done the team-up movie, he's just gone straight into a fucking team-up movie. And it's like, yeah, because we know who fucking Batman is. We know who fucking Superman is. We know who Wonder Woman is. Nobody gives a fuck about Ant-Man. Nobody gives a shit about even Iron Man. When it came out, he wasn't even that popular, to be fair.
Well, that was really because they couldn't get the rights to Spider-Man at that point. They had no rights to Spider-Man or any of the big... Well, I mean, you've got Cap.
Yeah.
But, okay, yes, so he's well-known. Not particularly well-known over here before the Marvel movies. Not really.
So they had to put the time in. They had to do the experiment, as we always call it. They had to do that. Whereas with DC, how many fucking Batman movies had we had before that? How many fucking Superman? Like, Wonder Woman projects. We needed to go balls deep straight away, get the Batman versus Superman movie, although we maybe could have just went straight to the Justice League movie when we talk about it now. But then we got the Justice League movie, and you could see very clearly what the plan was when you got the Snyder Cut. You could now see the plan, and we're not fucking getting it anymore. We're getting fucking James Gunn, so...
Pissy bastard. No, I'll agree with you there. I do enjoy watching that. I've watched it quite a few times at this point. Yeah, it's a good watch. What did you make of the Flash movie? Tangent.
I didn't hate it. I also didn't rate it. But it was okay. It tried to do a little bit too much in my eyes. I thought the tail end of the movie was just garbage when fucking Batman's fucking Michael Keaton, man. Oh, man. I love Michael Keaton as much as anyone else. I love Michael Keaton's Batman. That was a fucking paycheck. That was a paycheck.
Totally a paycheck. Yeah. It was nice seeing him suiting up
was.
again. A lot of member berries in there.
He did not need to do that, though.
He didn't need to do it. And I agree with you there. Well, who else didn't need to do it was George Clooney.
Yeah, although I was alright with that. That was a nice little sting at the end of the movie, to be fair.
No.
It would have been better if it was Val Kilmer. I would have loved that. I mean, he's gone now, but
I know he's gone. Yeah. I'll get Richard Bale in there.
Oh, like anything, like yeah.
Adam West. No, he was dead by that point.
I don't think it was as bad as people made out.
I would agree. I would agree with you.
I think it's a fun enough watch. You can tell pretty much from the very beginning that it's not really going to go anywhere because this is a self-contained thing. Yeah, that's about all I could really say about the Flash.
That's fine. I was just I've watched it once. I probably won't watch it again. I'm in the same boat as you. Where I don't think it was as bad as people made out. Interesting choice of some of the special effects.
Yeah, there was some pretty weak special effects in there.
It felt intentional though.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So that was just bizarre.
Like they were trying something like artsy and different.
Yeah. Pick a different movie if you're going to do that. Really,
I mean, when you're sitting there and you're thinking, well, Grant Gustin's Flash had better effects than this. You're in a bit of a bad spot.
I mean, maybe it was like an Ezra Miller art project or something like that, where he was going to eat his own shit afterwards. I don't know.
The thing is, like, I really like Ezra Miller in that movie. I think he's quite a good Flash. He's all right. Could have probably just had Grant Gustin, but didn't mind him.
Yeah, I would have been okay with that.
And the Supergirl character was just not for me.
Just Henry Cavill in it.
Yeah. But no, I'm with you on the Flash. It was it was watchable. It was watchable, but I wouldn't say it's that memorable.
Fair enough.
But yeah, my number one movie of the last 5 years is the Snyder Cut, Justice League.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
I've been waiting a long time to fucking say those words. and anybody out there who disagrees, you can all eat shit.
Yeah, you can. You can. Do you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, so I had the likes of Prey. It was on Amazon. It's a Hulu film, Predator movie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it's the one with the girl. I quite like that.
Yeah, that was okay.
There was a movie came out a few years ago called A Violent Man. It was what's his fucking name? Craig Fairbrass. Low budget independent film set in a prison. Like really, really good film. Like got a lot of good performances out of that. Craig Fairbrass, probably the best thing he's ever made. Yeah, they're probably like the only two that I can think of off the top of my head. Oh! Top Gun Maverick.
Okay, yeah, I'll agree with that. That was a good movie.
Yeah,
that was a good film. Yeah,
that's how you like reboot or make a sequel like 20 years later. That's how you do it. You just make the original movie but with a new cast and get Tom Cruise in there. That's how you do it.
Just get Tom Cruise in there.
Yeah, because it was everything it needed to be. It was just a fun guy's movie. Like it was just a man's movie, and they just replaced like awkward, sexy beach volleyball for awkward, sexy American football on the beach. So it works. 2025.
Yeah. I think they're doing a Top Gun 3, aren't they?
I'm up for that.
Well, it made all the money in the world, so they will be. But it just shows you, like, Tom Cruise can still do it.
Yeah.
You can
Oh,
still
absolutely.
you can still bring in the money. If he's not given dog shit to do.
Did you ever see the story about Top Gun Maverick, about how like they had to delay filming for like a year because he said he wasn't going to film any scenes until he could actually fly an F-18?
Yeah.
That's
That's
mental.
badass. That's badass. And it's really I'm Tom Cruise.
Aye. And it's when you hear stories like that that then make you think, yeah, absolutely right. What happened to Mission Impossible?
Yeah. Where's him hanging off the side of a fucking plane and you know things? There was none of it. There was none of it.
Nah. No,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right.
I'm right. Well, when you're right. Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
I like that. Now, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Have you heard of this?
Oh, okay.
So it's set in it's part of the original Dracula novel.
Yeah.
It's in the ship that's bringing Dracula from Romania to England.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's what happened on the ship on the journey over. Really good. Proper, like, horror. Again, I think I said with Warfare earlier on, proper horror, like claustrophobic as fuck.
Yeah.
Good design of the monster as well. Some real proper horror moments in there. It really, like, it's mostly like sort of mist, you know, covering the ship and things like that. So you can't sort of see things, and kind of hides the monster at times. And it's good. It's good. It's really good. A Complete Unknown. Chalamet again. It's a biopic about Bob Dylan. No,
I've not actually watched it. I've not watched it, but Ruby went to the cinema with her gran to watch it.
Right.
So that's all I've got to say about that.
Okay. That's okay to say. I liked it. It was good. It was his story, and it's good.
I'm not a Chalamet fan, if I'm honest.
No. Oh, okay.
And like, yeah, I thought the Willy Wonka film was just trash.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, I'm not a Chalamet fan.
No. Obviously,
Although
I've mentioned Dune and that one. But yeah, I think he's got some skills.
I will say, I do think he's one of those actors that at some point will surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I do genuinely feel there's a performance in him that I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna be like, "Fucking hell, give him an Oscar." Like, I can see it coming.
It's coming.
I can see it coming.
It's definitely coming. Yeah, that's definitely coming.
I think my last honourable mention would be The Batman. That came out in the last 5 years.
I forgot about that.
Or also Joker Folie à Deux.
Get the fuck out.
No. that was an experience.
Again, switched it off.
I mean, not something that I outright hated, but definitely interesting. Like, what the fuck were they doing?
Fucking well-regarded potential franchise, how you completely blow that out of the water so amazingly. It should be commended for that.
Did you see all the press stuff and all the like articles that were coming out, basically saying that the second Joker movie was a symptom of the fact that everybody liked Arthur by the end of the first movie? So Todd Phillips and Phoenix himself decided to like just bastardize the character.
Okay.
They were like, we're going to show you who this man really is, this character that you like so much, and we're going to tell you why you shouldn't like him, and you're all assholes for liking this character. And it was like, well, don't make a movie with a character that's so fucking likable then.
Uh-huh.
Because I kind of loved Arthur in the first movie.
Did you ever rewatch it?
Nah.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely not rewatch the second one for a completely different reason. Like I didn't mind it. I was just sort of like sitting there going, "What are we doing? What are we doing?" Because they basically just spend the whole movie. It's like a courtroom drama, going over the first movie and
So
telling us
it's
why.
more of previously on.
Yeah, it's literally
fuck
that's
that.
what it is. And that kind of like rehashing the first movie and telling us why we were all wrong to like Arthur Fleck and be on his side. And that's all it was, really. It was just shit. Yeah. So, well, I guess that's us for this episode. That's Chris and Kev back from the 365 Flicks podcast.
Feels good to be
And
back.
That's been like 4 hours, man.
I know.
And the best of it is,
I mean, most of it was you fucking about.
half the time we've been cutting off and everything. So I've got no fucking idea if any of this is going to be worth it. that would be funny.
It won't record or something like that.
And then we could just be like back in the old days. That one was for us.
Yeah.
But no, man, this has been good. This has been fun. I've enjoyed this, especially like going over. So, like at the start when we're talking about some of the old shit we used to do, and it would just fucking be cool to get back to some of that, and it'd be cool to just get back into doing some regular shit with you, man, and just talking about the shit we watch, and yeah, just being a podcast again,
100%.
and seeing where
I have missed. I mean, we spoke. I don't know. It's probably taken us about 2 years to get to this point where we're actually sitting down to record. Just stuff kept on getting in the way.
Just life, man.
But it's been exactly. I know, and yeah, it feels good. It feels good to have finally gotten an episode back in.
It does.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more with you. That's cool.
And then we can start just getting some proper beef with the old gang. And just being like, we're back, motherfuckers.
100%.
Fuck Hobie. Why would you listen to Hobie? They're the Diet Coke of 365. So with that, I'm gonna wrap that out. Chris, this has been absolutely fucking awesome. I look forward to sitting down and doing this again with you very, very soon. We will not leave it for another 5 years. I can guarantee that.
No, definitely not.
We will not do that. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.
You will. All right, man.